Hi. Wrong way. There we go. You ready for the secrets you don't know about? So I can't see what you guys started talking about because I have a hype train alert stuck on the screen and it won't go away, so I can't read above it. So Dee Dee, I think you subbed. Thank you. It was supposed to be 27 months, not 28. Hold on, let me see. Did you say something? You said baby number 3? Oh, yeah. Baby number 3. Matt, thank you so much for the resub as well. Appreciate it. You guys want to see some secrets? There's an ad already? How is there an ad already? It's supposed to wait like a minute. Oh, yeah, no, that makes sense actually. An ad before the stream even starts. Or whatever you go by now. Hit us with those secrets. Secrets. Twitch messed up my message. Big sad. What do you mean new project? Why would you think this is a new project? What are you talking about? Why would you think that? Yeah, okay. All right. So first of all, let me give some context and some backstory a little bit first. Actually, here, I'll leave this turned up for you, and I'll turn it down for me. All right, music's too loud. Let me know. Okay, so I got sick, and I wasn't able to finish the skill trees because I was kind of down for like a couple weeks. But when I came back, I was able to get a lot of work done on them, and we were very close to finishing them. But I realized that like I had 2 weeks basically, this week and last week, to cram to get them done before Girls Make Games starts, which is on Monday. So basically this weekend I'm kind of like done. I can't really work too much on Swords of Magic or anything. And so I was like, well, dang, that means I have 2 weeks to finish all the skill trees and get an update out, and that's not going to happen in 2 weeks, and I don't want to cram it in, like, to try to get that happen. And we have to, like, we want to do a test build for like an opt-in closed beta test too, or like an application-based closed beta test. And so the problem with that is I didn't want to like do that right before GMG starts in case there's a bunch of issues or problems or like questions or whatever, or if there's like, you know, we screwed something up, it broke someone's game or whatever. So I didn't want to do that right before GMG just in case, because we wouldn't have time to like fix that. We could have got a build out to testers, probably to our dedicated testers during GMG, so they had like plenty of time to work on that, but like I'm not that nice to them. Like I kind of like making them sweat and like giving them like 24 hours to like find all the bugs. It's just more fun that way for me. And so I just decided that like in that 2 weeks, like I could like, you know, keep working on skill trees, or I could just do something else. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit burnt out on Swords of Magic, probably because I was sick and I was like working really hard to get the skill trees done, and so I burnt out a little bit. And so I was talking to Jana, and we just kind of decided like maybe we should consider doing another prototype for a new game, just see how it works out. There's also a game jam going on starting July 31st. It's the Ryan Laley Games Game Jam, who is a YouTuber who does like Unreal Engine tutorial stuff, and there's a $300 cash prize, which I'll take it or leave it. Like I'm not like, I wouldn't like join a game jam for a cash prize unless it was like, you know, $50,000 probably or something crazy. But like, it sounds like a cool game jam. There's not a lot of rules, and it's like a 30-day jam, but it starts the end of next month, or the end of this month. So I'm kind of excited about that. So I think I'm going to do that, which will mean another new project then. So there's a good chance that skill trees are going to get delayed quite a bit longer, which is kind of what it is. So yeah, I decided to start prototyping a new project. So I guess I'll tell you about it now, if you want to know about it. It is a spin-off of Swords and Magic. It uses a lot of Swords Magic assets, as you can tell already. I do not have a lot of materials in the project yet, and so because of that, it's kind of everything's kind of like just gray and blocky, which is fine, I think, right now. But hang on, I'll fix the camera. Let's do medium. Did that fix it? High is okay. It's just when I do epic, cinematic. Okay, hold on. It's probably because I did cinematic and then I click back on the thing. Let's see if high works. Nope, it doesn't like high either. My camera does not like. Medium's okay. We can do medium graphics. Okay. Sorry. Dumb camera. Can't make it work. I need to fix that. I still have not got around to fixing that. I'm probably gonna like revamp my whole stream thing after GMG is over, maybe. I don't know. Especially because I really want to get back to like streaming like full time again, like 2-3 days a week, whatever. And especially like if I'm just working on new projects, because like that's exciting. Mini Missy, thanks so much for the sub. Appreciate that. That's kind of you. What's up, Aaron? Yeah, I think having multiple games going at all times is good. As someone that has been coding for 25 years now, and 17 of them were in the corporate sector, I can say it really helped me. Yeah, so burnout is a real thing, and with Swords Magic, it seems like I do burn out every couple months, every 2 or 3 months or so, depending on what I'm working on. I'm so sorry about the... Here, let's just click off it. That'll stop the camera from... I don't know, as soon as I click on Unreal, the like camera starts flickering. I'm gonna have to fix that. Anyway, but yeah, every few months I burn out on Swords of Magic pretty hard, and I just like get really frustrated. I noticed that burnout follows after like I get a negative review, which is just me not being able to cope with negativity, I guess. Which, you know, like in my defense, it's not easy. Like when you put a game out there and you're working on it for 6 years of your life, and then like people are like, this game is trash, you know, or whatever, and they leave a negative review. It's just kind of like hard to like wrap your head around like those 6 years of work, and then someone's thinking it's, you know, you're not worth spending $20 on. So that's frustrating, but yeah, I definitely burn out a lot, and I think that's normal, especially after this long on a project, especially when the project isn't making a ton of money. So yeah, and also like we need more money coming in, so I do need to be spreading out my resources a little bit better and not just focusing on Swords of Magic. We for a while we were like, let's just dump everything we have into Swords of Magic and see if it like if we can like really push a big update and do a bunch of marketing and stuff and like do really good. And we did kind of during the farming fest, but then like we're on sale right now, and yeah, granted we have not done like any marketing, and that's our own fault. We haven't like announced that we're on sale on Discord, but I've also noticed that Discord doesn't really get us any sales, because I think the majority of people who are on the Discord already own the game and are looking for assistance on the game, or they're people who wanted to buy the game when it was like in development and they've forgotten they're on the Discord and just haven't ever left it. But that's fine. Anyway, so yeah, I decided just like, let's just start doing some prototypes. So I really love the mentality of how Sock Pop Games works. They're like a working like co-op kind of deal. It's not really like a game studio where there's like a bunch of them working on like individual games, and they've released under the same like publisher or the same like studio name or whatever. I think sometimes they team up on games and do bigger games. But I love the idea of just like releasing a bunch of small like prototype experimental games and just kind of seeing what clicks and then running with that type of game or whatever. And so we kind of did that with Dwarvenhold, where we kind of like made a little prototype, and turned out it was going to take a lot more work to make it fun than I thought it was going to be. And I'm sure we could like redesign it and do it at a simpler way that would still be more fun. But I just wasn't like super in love with the idea, and so we just kind of shelved it for now. I haven't deleted it. We could go back to it, who knows? But it's kind of shelved for now. I got a little ahead of I put my cart a little ahead of the horses on that one, and we did do like a new Discord channel for it and everything, because we were talking a lot about it. But luckily I didn't do like too much work. But yeah, with this project I'm gonna try not to do that. This is just a prototype right now to see if it's fun, if it works. We're taking a lot of inspiration from a game called My Little Universe, which is not exactly like, you know, a huge success on Steam, so I'm not expecting this to be like a gigantic like, you know, overnight success or anything either. But it is a spin-off of Swords of Magic. It is, I'll try to explain it. There's a lot of work has already gone into it. It is multiplayer. It is multiplayer so far is fully functional. Everything is being designed with multiplayer in mind, so it's all good to go and working. It'll work similar to Swords of Magic, where you can join friends. I don't think there's going to be a server browser, because I just don't think it's that type of game. I think it was more like when you get into a game, you can just press escape and go to like your friends list and invite a friend, or they can just join you through Steam. I think I might have a setup where like you can like, you know, you can like make your game private so no one can join you, so that way you don't have friends joining you if you don't want them to. And the reason for that is because all players in the game have a shared inventory. So if I just walk over this temporary like pop-up thing right here, it gives me 350 wood, and all players in the game world have that resource. I have an axe equipped, and yes, I'm naked, don't worry about it. You can hold click to keep attacking in this game. Sorry about the flickering camera, I don't want to tell you about that. It's gonna get annoying. I can turn the graphics down more, I guess, and we'll try to fix it. Is this game making use of all the Swords of Magic hard lessons learned, or does it also heavily rely on duct tape? So far, there is very, very little duct tape in this. That's probably loud, sorry. You can harvest very quickly in this game. There are certain things that require higher level tools, which we don't have right now. You, when you switch to attack to mine something, your tool automatically swaps to a new tool. And if I go back to the trees, you can see here, the tool will automatically swap back to an axe as soon as I start trying to attack it. It does steal one of your like attacks to switch. So there's like a little bit of a delay, but it does auto swap. And yes, in this game, you can chop the trees. I have considered maybe not doing chopping the trees, but I think we're gonna do chop the trees. And I think it needs a lot more polish. This is very much like prototypes. There's a lot more polishing to go in. It's like when you hit the trees, they should like shake and rustle, and trees should, like leaves should fall off them and stuff. And then when you hit the rocks, they should shake, and like there should be, you know, particles and stuff that fly off, and it should sound not like chopping wood. So now let's say we got a bunch of raw resources. Cool. Let's refine them. You can walk over this thing. Menu pops up again. Very much prototype. It's very much camera rave. Hang on. Let me try to fix it again. I don't know if this will work. I don't know if this will work while we're in the project, while we're test playing. Oh my. This is fine. I don't know if it's preparing. Okay, there we go. Oh my god, we lost all our lighting. This is just my stupid camera being dumb. I don't know what to tell you. This is just what it's gonna look like for a second. I'm sorry. I really don't know why the camera does this. Well, I need to fix it. Anyway, so we can refine things. You can swap between all the things that you have in your inventory that are refinable. Right? So I have ore, I have wood, it'll turn into planks, obviously. And then you have a slider, which you can slide around to decide how many you want to refine, because you might maybe don't want to spend all your resources. And then when you decide, you can just click start, and it's really loud. And then it'll start refining them, and you just start getting them in your inventory. You don't have to be there, they automatically go into your inventory right now, but I think what's going to happen is this little dotted line over, or dotted box over here, I think they're going to pop out of that, and then you have to walk over and pick them up when you have enough that you're like, want to go back and get it. Just so there's a little bit of like, you have to do something, you know, you can't just like totally forget about it. Then when you have enough resources, you can come over here, and there's another like things like a build zone, build spot thing, whatever, and you walk over this. And so originally this was supposed to, like, as you walk over it, was supposed to like spew resources into it. It would say like 0 out of 5, and when you walk over it, it would just like fill that up and be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or whatever. But the problem with that is that networking was an issue, and the game we're kind of like stealing this idea from doesn't do online multiplayer, so they didn't have that issue. So I don't know if there's a way to like solve that. There probably is, but the issue was that like if every time you like one resource like goes in and like ticks the counter up or whatever, it would have to take it out away from like the global inventory. And the problem with that is that the update, if there was like high ping or whatever, 2 players could be depositing at the same time, and then like the server wouldn't be able to keep up with like letting everyone know what the new inventory is every time one of the resources or a chunk of resources gets taken out. And so you'd end up being able to cheese it, like almost positive that would happen. So now it just does, like, it just fills up, and then when it gets to the top of this thing, it doesn't really do anything. Sorry, loud noises. But it's probably gonna like pop, and all the resources are gonna like spew out of you and then like suck into the thing, and then it'll get built. So it'll still like be satisfying and feel fun. This is intense music right now. No, it's not. What are you talking about? Let me catch up with Aaron in chat. Sorry. Being able to go from a freelance project and jump into my own personal project during my own downtime really kept my head in a good space. Yeah, 100%. Practically never burnt out. Yeah, I totally agree with that. That's really good advice. I still don't understand why the game isn't absolutely crushing it financially. I love the game and have a great time when playing it with my friends. Seems like it should have more attention. You know, I agree. I'm obviously biased, but I think a big part of it is just like no one knows about it, and I don't know how to get it out in front of more people, because almost everyone who has played it is like at least like engaged with it and enjoys it, to the point Like it's pretty rare that someone plays it and they're like, I just don't like this game. There are definitely a lot of people who look at it and think like, the graphics aren't for me, or like it's just not my type of game because I like shooters or whatever, and that's fine too, right? Like I understand that it's not going to please everyone, and that's understandable. But I do feel like there's a huge RPG audience out there that would enjoy it that just don't know it exists, and I don't know how to get it in front of more people. We did the Jingle Jam and we got it in front of like, how many people was it? Like 60,000 people got our game during the Jingle Jam. We just donated 60,000 keys, which was in hindsight probably a terrible idea for like financial reasons, but we got to write off some of that because it was like potential lost sales, which was nice. But yeah, so we thought like having 60,000 more people playing it would mean like, hey, look, I just got this game for free, I'm playing it, it's really fun, it's multiplayer, friend A, friend B, you guys should buy this, we should play it together, it's really cool. But that just didn't really happen. And when it did happen, like in the beginning of Jingle Jam, when they redeemed their keys, I think what the problem was is that a lot of people would do that and they'd be like, oh man, this game is really cool, you should get it. You should go to Jingle Jam and spend $30 and get all of the games for free, including this one, and we'll play it. And that's what happened. So I think our game just drove more donations to Jingle Jam, which is good and bad, but it didn't like really drive any sales for us. So I think Jingle Jam would have worked better if everyone would like bought the game and then like, and obviously this would work better for developers, not better for Jingle Jam. But if they bought the game and then got the keys at the end of the jam when the jam was over, so they have like that much time to buy it, because then when they played the game and they wanted to convince their friends to play it with them, then they'd have to go buy the game from us, not from Jingle Jam. But either way, it doesn't matter. We probably won't do Jingle Jam again just because it's not financially like viable for us, unfortunately. Or maybe next year we'll be like, can we just donate? It doesn't matter. They require you to donate like 100,000 keys, which is just insane for indie games, in my opinion. Anyway, I need to unplug it and plug it back in. I had a friend have the same thing happen and he unplugged the cam and plugged it back in and it was fixed. Oh, I mean, maybe. I feel like we've done that recently. I think I just plugged it back in recently because I think Jana was using it, but you might be right. Anyway, yeah, I don't know why the camera's doing that. And I don't know why Swords of Magic isn't selling, but it just is what it is and it's fine. Like it's sold it's made gross a lot of money. The problem was that the majority of like the time when it was selling really well, we had a team of like 5 people, and so all of that money was split up and got all those people, which is great. I'm glad we did that, and I think the game's much better because of it. But at the end of the day, like even though the game was really successful early on and now it's kind of like died off, which is understandable and like expected of a game, it just didn't pave a long enough road for us to like live off of those without releasing other games, or live off of those sales without releasing other games. So we're just kind of the point where it's like we're gonna have to release other games, which is fine anyway, because I'm kind of sick of only having one game under my belt. I want more games on Steam and I want to be like known for more than just one game. So I'm gonna start with like a little spin-off because we already have a kind of a target audience with Swords of Magic. Like I know a lot of you guys like Swords of Magic and would probably buy a spin-off game for it, especially if it has like a lot of the same elements and has like the same charm. So that's kind of like my goal right now. So anyway, yeah. So we just built the refinery, and this is kind of the core game loop of the game. Is you harvest resources, and then you refine some of the resources or whatever, and then you build buildings and build structures and build upgrade stations and things like that. And then you upgrade your tools and you refine resources and you whatever. So the plan, let's turn this back to not low because it's getting insane. There we go. So the plan is kind of like, we're going to build out kind of like all of Terrawin in a much smaller like scope, and then you'll like kind of like you'll start in Windless Woods probably because it's just simple, maybe Azura, I don't know, and you'll like build up like a little town. Basically you're gonna like settle a little town and like people will move in or whatever. When people move in, they might go and like harvest resources for you, and like you'll like have like a supply of like resources coming in, like automation kind of. And that'll like be an incremental like gain over time as you like help people out and like build things for them. And then once you like built enough, you can like build the ferry or something and then go to stupid camera and then like go to the next zone. If that's how we're going to work it. Or it might not be a ferry thing. It might just be like, you just go to the next zone. Different as you get further out and you find more resources, it'll require better upgrades, potentially higher skill level. If we're going to do skill levels, haven't decided yet. And so that's like going to be the gate, is that you'll go to the next zone and try to like harvest those resources and you won't be able to. There is a sword level. We're not going to do like a ton of combat. I'm thinking about sword and maybe a bow. Haven't decided yet. Jan really wants a bow in the game and I'd like to do it, but I can't think of how to do it with like this tool swapping, because weapons should be as simple as the tools. The only thing I can think is you can just press like X or whatever to swap between your tool and your weapons, and then maybe you can just like right click to shoot your bow and left click to swing your sword. We might do something like that. That could be a good way to handle it. Yo, what's up, Maz? Make swords and magic hobbies in FN with all your assets. Last time I'm gonna say this. Maz, I know, man. I know. I hate it. I hate working in it. It's like someone coming in saying like, hey man, roofing is a really like viable as a way to make money, but it's like I don't want to climb on a roof and do shingles. Like I don't like working in UEFN. I hate it. It just feels like you're okay. It's like I'm like a sculptor working in marble, right? And then someone's like, hey, you know, Play-Doh sculptures go for a lot of money. You should go make stuff in Play-Doh. It just feels like I'm so limited. Like I can't do what I want to do. I guess Play-Doh would be like less limiting, but you know what I mean? Like I feel like I'm hamstringed. Like I can't use blueprints. I can't script things the way I want to script them. I don't know. I just don't like it. Not a fan. I tried, and I mean I didn't give it a really good try, but I don't know. Maybe I'll try again. I don't know. Are people still making crazy amounts of money, Maz? Is it still like really viable? What's up, Xander? What project is this? So far it's called Swords and Settlers, but it's just a working title. It is a Swords and Magic spin-off where you harvest resources and build towns. It might feel a little bit like a city builder game, I guess, kind of. The camera is gonna freak out right now. It is multiplayer. You run around and harvest resources. You auto swap. There's also going to be like an auto swing option that you can turn on where you walk up to something and you just automatically start swinging if there's a resource there, which is taken from My Little Universe. And then you can go build things. Sorry about the loud noises. And then you can use the tools, like things to like refine stuff or whatever. So this is like we're refining our logs into planks, whatever. Anyway, that's kind of the project right now. But project looks cool. I love S&M vibe. Thanks. You and every other Unreal dev. I know, and it's like yes, lots of money. Really? Oh man, I thought it was gonna die off. I thought it was gonna be like a big boom where everyone made a bunch of money, and then it was gonna like a ton of people were gonna show up and it was just gonna be dead. And I thought by the time I like get like working in it and like figure out like how to make money in it, then there's not gonna be any money left and I'm just gonna be done. Because I know it's split. It's like shared between other devs. So I know the more people who get involved in it, the less money it's gonna be for everyone. Like the gold rush. I just keep saying FN because you could do minimal work and create a solid S&M presence there, potentially driving sales to Swords Magic and getting FN money. Yeah, I mean, it's a good idea. I wonder if it would be good to also include a system where players have a create roads / Minecraft tracks, etc. to ship resources. Okay, so this is what I was kind of looking for, Matt, is like some feature creep. I know that's not a good thing in like 99% of the time. It's not a good thing to ask for feature creep, but in this case, I'm not entirely sold on like this project as this core game loop as being all there is. I like the idea of building like houses or like there's a town with a whole bunch of these build spots, right? I had these like manually spawning, but it was just a huge pain and it just wasn't worth the effort. But I like the idea of like finding a town and just seeing like a whole bunch of these little like build spots laying around, and you're like, oh, what does this one build? And they might show you like what it is, I guess, you know, instead of just being something you guess. And then the idea is like you kind of build them up, and then if it's like it could be like a woodcutter's log, or a logging cabin or something, and then like once it does that, like a person spawns, an NPC spawns, and he just like wanders out and like harvests wood, and then comes back and drops it off, and you can go pick it up. So it's like more resources you can get all the time. I reckon you could probably use most of the art as well, which should save you a bit of work. Yes, 100%. That's what I'm planning. What's up, A-Night? I would never go anywhere besides Unreal. Yeah, well, it's Unreal Fortnite. So yeah, it's still Unreal. It's just like Unreal with all the fun stuff stripped out of it. Anyway, yeah, so like the idea, like I like the idea of that, and then like kind of creates a little bit of like automation where you have like, God, this stupid camera. You have automation going on, and like as you like explore more of the world, like resources are building up and you can come back and pick them up. But I love the idea of like mine carts too. That'd be really cool. I wonder if we could just build a system where you can just like place mine carts. But another thing is I'm trying to keep this like stupid simple. As far as like controls go, like I want controller support. I don't know about a console release, but like that's always on the table if we keep it like really simple with controller support. So I like the idea of it just being like really, really simple, where you just walk up and you just hold down the mouse button, you attack or swing or whatever, and then you drop the resources off by dropping on or walking onto a thing, open an inventory, a menu by walking into a thing. Like I just like the idea of that simplicity. So I feel like if there's like a building menu or something, it's gonna like, that's too much. So maybe what we do is we like, there's a minecart system that's like built in already, and you just like repair it or like build it, right? So it could be like a minecart like station or something, and you like build it and a minecart appears on it or whatever, and then you can, once you build the other side of it, then you can ride it back and forth. And then maybe there's like a spot you can walk onto. I don't know how that would work. It would, because yeah, I think like maybe you build the carts between like the mines oh my god, the rails between towns, and then once the whole thing is built, then it brings all the resources that you've gathered like that are like being stored in like maybe a collective like storage thing or something from that town to the next town. So that town starts getting more resources too, and then you keep doing that, and then all those resources just keep shipping to like the next town that you're in, so you just have more resources. But that might also be a bad idea, because then like you have no reason to go back to older towns, which I guess is fine and probably good. And it also means we have to have a lot of stuff running at a time, like off screen. I guess we could fake it. I guess like if the thing is like unloaded, we could like just tick resources up instead of having like the NPCs walk around and actually get them. I don't know. Not gonna promise Switch this time. No, I'm not gonna promise Switch this time. I wonder if it'd be the system. Yeah. 20 more seconds of ads. Oh man, sorry about that. I'm back. So what is the progression of this? Like different levels and whatnot. So I'm thinking one open world again. Mostly just because it's multiplayer, so I don't want players to have to like transfer between worlds. But Model Universe does do that, and that's kind of what I'm basing this off of. The difference between Model Universe, which is something I don't want to do, is their whole world. Let me just pull up a screenshot of it. Because like, so Jana, me, and Abby started playing this the other day, and this is what made me realize like this game is so simple, and like it was probably pretty easy to make this game, and like it made about the same amount of money as Swords of Magic has made. About. But I'm trying to find a screenshot of like the world being built. I don't see it. Oh, here's a good one. Okay, here's a really good screenshot of this. Actually, let's do this. Okay, so this is my little universe. So they have the resources at the top, just like us. I'm probably gonna do a lot of work to like polish up the art, because I think the art in this is like, I mean, like the 3D art is kind of meh. Like it's fine. It all matches and it looks good, so like that's fine. But I think like I don't know. I think our UI needs a lot of polish to like make this look nicer and easier to read and everything. And it's all just placeholder right now. Anyway, so you chop trees or whatever. This has a boat, but yeah. And then you walk over this, and the resources get deposited, and then another like piece of the land gets built. So that's like their whole loop, is like you gather resources and you walk over and like build more of the world, which then unlocks more resources and you can gather that and stuff. And so I think there's a lot of like the progression is really good in this. The problem that me and Jana ran into almost immediately with this game is that there's like I think it's like 12 worlds or 16 worlds or 8 worlds or something like that. I don't remember what it is. but like every world is the exact same thing with a different skin on it. It's all the same mechanics for the most part. There are boss fights, but so far we've only seen like 2 different boss types that do different things. One's like a giant like squid. Hold on, there's a picture of it. So this is one of them, and you just have to like attack its tentacles, and when you break all the tentacles, then it dies, and it just like takes them up and smashes them down and stuff. So this one's pretty fun, but the other boss fight is just like a big guy that just walks around and like tries to fight you, and then you just attack it. Oh, octopus, thank you. I don't know, I was saying squid. Sorry, octopus. Anyway, but this is like, there's like 4 of these boss fights that are all just reskinned. They're all just the same thing, just reskinned. And then same with the other guy, the big guy, like he just walks around. And all the enemies are pretty much just reskinned. There's a couple that do something different, but for the most part, they just kind of walk at you. And when you get close to them, it automatically swaps to your sword and you just attack. So I think we need a little bit more like, there's a little more player like agency when it comes to like our version of this game, and I'm not like totally ripping this off, as you can tell, because it's like, I just like the idea of like gathering a bunch of resources really fast and like progressing. So anyway, so yeah, we're not going to be like building parts of the world, but we are going to be building structures and like monuments or like, you know, ruins and things like that. Like I like the idea that like the world's basically just empty and you're like settling it, you're like building it. And this is a really cool spin-off idea because it's like Tier before it was Tier, and I really like it because it's the same idea that we had for like the Tier like builders kind of game, but without a ton of the effort that goes into it. So this is a much simpler version of the game, and I want to just kind of like start with something really simple for a second game, so it's not a huge like 2-year investment of a development time, especially since I refuse to early access again, so the game has to be 100% finished before we release it. What's up, Noel? How are you? I've been doing pretty good. My camera is broken today, and most days, especially when I click on Unreal, it just starts flickering like crazy, but dealing with that. What's up, Blackman? Darth Blackman, welcome in. Yeah, so Ben, hi, welcome in. This game looks very similar to that city builder you started a while ago. Very similar mechanics, but simplified. I like it. Yes, exactly. Serious. Yeah, you totally caught on. What's up, Pearl? Hi. Nice to see you come in. Yeah, so this is just like it's like a spin-off Swords of Magic game where you're just building up a world. But I think it needs more. I think the combat could be a little more involved. Like I'm thinking that like we'll keep similar, if not like the same like attacks and stuff from our current enemies. I don't think they're gonna be as complicated as like some of them, and I definitely want to do boss fights again. And you'll probably like maybe like clear like the entrance of a dungeon or something and go in. But in that in the Milo Universe game, like when you want to go to another world, you have to like all the players have to join you, and in a dungeon too, all the players have to join you, probably because they're just trying to keep resources low. So, but I'd like to keep this open world because it's kind of like something I like to do. I like open world. I like being able to like walk around, explore the whole thing, and so I'd like to keep that. I'm not promising Switch again, so like yeah, so who knows if we're ever gonna like put it on Switch or whatever. We might have to think about how we're gonna handle that. And it might have to be like loading, but I doubt it. I think we can avoid that. So so yeah, it's just gonna be like one big open world with a bunch of zones you can walk between. So it'll be a lot of level design, which will be fine because the world's gonna be a lot smaller and a lot less granular because the whole game is top down, right? I'm actually even thinking about maybe like pulling the camera back a little further, but you can only move the camera this much, so it's not like you can get your camera up close. There's no like zooming in. The camera only moves just because it feels weird and like unnatural if it can't move a little bit. Jan and I have been talking about maybe outfits. We're thinking about maybe you like unlock or you like build a tailor shop, and that tailor shop will have like a couple different outfits you can purchase. So you'll walk up and get a menu and you can purchase it using resources. And some of the resources might just be gold, and you might get gold from like selling your resources. Like there might be spots where you can like open a menu and you get gold in exchange for certain resources. That's kind of how it works in Milo Universe anyway. And then you can buy things with that. So you can buy outfits, and then there might be like a mirror at like a vanity mirror or whatever at the tailor shops that you can walk up to, and then you can put on a new outfit. The outfits would not be like just clothing. It would be like a full thing. So like you could like get a pirate one and you had like the hat and the outfit and like a hook on your hand and everything. Like you get the whole thing. Because I think it's just way simpler that way than being able to like customize your entire character. And since it's so pulled back, I just don't think there's a lot of use in having to customize a whole character. Maybe we can let players like change like a main color or something, maybe, so that way not like if two players want to be like the pirate or whatever, then they don't have to be the same color pirate. But we'll see. Sounds very much like you're remaking the game. Swords and Magic? No, not at all. It's the core mechanics are already finished in this game, other than what we might do as combat. Like this is already done. So this is how the game works, and then you drop stuff off to build it. You have a shared inventory between all the players on the server. And then I don't have any other resources to refine, so that's all I can do. I'm sorry about it's really loud. I should probably turn it down. And then I can swap to a tool and over here. It's so simplified, it is stupid. Like it's nowhere near what Swords and Magic is. Not even close. The world's gonna be a lot smaller. And you're just gonna like rebuild like a small town or area in each zone and then move on to the next one. Another thing is like something we did in Swords and Magic, which was like I think a huge mistake, is every quest had its own like, not every quest, but like a lot of quests have like their own special mechanics. All like the secrets have their own like little special mechanics. There's a lot of like every single zone is very much like handcrafted and like unique and special. And in a lot of RPGs, especially open world RPGs, they build a system and then they put every zone is like cookie cutter, like, okay, here's the zone, here's this system, this system, this system. Here's the next zone, here's this system, this system, this system. And it's all the same thing, just like slightly different. A good example of this is in Frozen Flame, which me and Matt and Jana played for a little while. I think someone else was joining with us, but I can't remember. And this is when I like, kind of clicked for me, like, oh yeah, I don't know why we didn't do this in Swords of Magic, because it would have saved a ton of dev time, but I'm glad we didn't, because it's better for it. But in that game, there's like a runestone thing you can like unlock, but to unlock it and get the reward for it, or you have to find these little runes that are like hidden on trees, whatever, around it. Well, I found that and I was like, this is so cool. I want to make some of this for Swords of Magic, like unlock these little runes. And if you unlock all of them, then it like gives you a reward. And then I realized I did that one. And then like, I realized there were like 15 more and they're all the exact same thing for like a very similar reward, just a little better reward every time. And I started realizing like, yeah, I don't like this systematic approach where every single thing is like systemized like this, where it's not like a unique puzzle in each zone. It's the same puzzle in every zone. And there's just a handful and they're spread out. And it gets really old really fast because you start seeing the patterns and it's not fun. And Swords of Magic does not really have like almost any of that, other than like the archer puzzle where you can like shoot the crystals. That's in like a couple different zones now. It's now in like it's literally just been added in another area too in the game for the next update. So it's in 3 different places now, and it'll probably be even more, which I think is fine. Like I think it's good to do some systematic stuff like that, but like yeah, there's still tons of unique stuff. Sounds like you're trying to make a Dungeon Defenders type game. Not even close. Yeah, I would say it's not even close to Dungeon Defenders. I played Dungeon Defenders. I don't think I played the second one, so maybe it's closer to the second one. But no, it's an open world resource, like almost like a city builder. I don't know. I don't really know what the genre is. It's hard to like define what the genre is. I would say an open world crafting game. It's like an open world casual, like almost like a hyper casual like crafting game. So, but yeah, so far it's fun. Like harvesting resources is pretty satisfying. I think it'll be way better when I add more polish. There's gonna be a ton more polish. Building things needs a lot more polish. We need more sound effects and new sound effects. I'm just been stealing everything from Swords of Magic right now to get it prototype done. So I'm gonna turn that down a little bit. Anyway, so yeah, the next step for this prototype before it's like playable is, well, there's 2 more steps, but I need to finish up an upgrade system, which I started working on. There's an upgrade interface like this, where you have an upgrade bench, and then it'll work just like the refinery, where you can like swap between these. And it'll like slide between all the tools that you have, which is all tools, because you start with all tools, just level 1 or level 0 all tools. And it'll show the required resources to upgrade. You'll upgrade. And then here's the interesting thing is like when you upgrade a tool, everyone who joins your world has that upgraded tool now. It's all local, it's all global. And the reason for that is because if we did tools where you like upgrade yourself, then it would mean we'd have to have local inventory, because otherwise you can like join someone else's world and then just go like upgrade all your tools with all the resources and then leave their world. And I was like, this is just going to lead to problems. And Jana and I have played Stardew Valley with Abby recently. She wanted to play Stardew Valley with us, so we were playing co-op, and we did shared money. And then one person wanted to like buy the wallet upgrade in the beginning for 2,000 money, $2,000, 2,000 gold, whatever. And we realized, like, what happens if this spends all of our money and only one person gets the upgrade? It means we have to make 8,000 gold before anyone feels comfortable buying the upgrade. Otherwise, it's not fair for anyone else, because they all worked hard to make that money and then only one person gets the benefit. So I really didn't like that idea. And so we decided not to make each tool upgrade each player, but instead making a tool upgrade for all players get the upgrade, which makes more sense. We tried doing individual, and we had individual inventories first, and I just swapped it over yesterday or day before, I think. But because individual resources meant individual resource refining, because otherwise players could just steal your resources, which felt like a little weird in this game. So it was like, well, we'll just make all the refineries local. But then Jana made a good point. She was like, what if all of your inventory is local and like private to you, and the refineries are private to you, and then like what are we even like playing together for? Like if you're going to upgrade a building, not one person's not going to want to spend all their buildings or all their resources to upgrade a building when another person's just hoarding theirs to like upgrade tools or whatever. So no one's going to like want to spend the resources. So that's when we decided, like, okay, maybe it just needs to stay like global, and everyone just it's full co-op and everyone's just working together. So that's the plan right now. Let me catch up on chat. Although you're trying to make Dungeons and Defenders type game. But yeah, it's definitely not like Swords and Magic. It's not an RPG. There is going to be enemies to fight, because I think there just needs to be some sort of challenge. But they're going to be very simplified. They'll just kind of be wandering around, and they'll just like attack you, and you go to do things, whatever. I'm considering like a dodge roll, just because right now the way you move around. Let's just switch back to one player so we can hopefully not have as much lag or camera issues. Because you can walk toward the camera, so let's pretend like this is an enemy we're attacking, right? It means I have to like run up to the enemy, attack it, and then run away from it, and you end up with this dumb thing where you're like constantly turning back and forth. So I think if you like could be attacking it and then dodge roll and then face it again and keep attacking it, or maybe you like auto lock on or something. I don't know, I haven't decided. Then it would feel a little better, because then you could strafe around it or whatever and dodge roll, and it would feel a little more combat friendly, I guess. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe we don't even put enemies in. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't need enemies. I don't know. Okay, let's move on. The trick is to use the cookie cutter mechanics in creative/new ways each time, so it feels different while being developmentally the same. Yeah, agreed. And we're trying to do that in Swords and Magic, and I agree. Yeah, I'm trying to do more cookie cutter mechanics in this, because I don't want each zone to be like, oh, I got to build a whole new mechanic for this thing. I got to build a whole new mechanic for this thing. Like every zone in Swords and Magic feels like that. Every time we make a new zone, it's like we build a whole bunch of new mechanics for that zone. Like when you get into Windless Woods, you have a whole corruption system. You have to like go get like clear the corruption by defeating enemies and stuff. And that's fine. I like that. But the problem is it just becomes a ton of work to develop. And now that I'm solo, it takes a long time to do a new zone, because I have to build all the new like recipes and all the new like unlockable new like tools and weapons and items and like new potions and new spells and new enemies and new, like, there's just so much stuff you have to do to make a whole nother like level of the game, or in a whole another zone in the game, that it's just taking a lot of development time, and we don't have the funds to like spend that much time on it. So that's kind of why I'm trying to avoid that. So I want to do a little like more systematic. I want to do a more systematic approach to this with more systems that are reused. And since this game is really just about incremental like progress, I think that's fine. I think it'll work fine in this game. What's up, LeQuesson? Yeah, the secret is that I'm spinning up a new, this is a prototype, this is not official yet or anything, but it is a spin-off game for Swords and Magic, or from Swords and Magic, which is like a top-down multiplayer resource gathering incremental progression game. You're gonna be like building towns in Tirowin, by like gathering resources than just like raising like buildings out of the ground in designated locations. It's not going to be like a building crafting game. But anyway, rebuilding an area using the resources from mobs that come in waves, and once an area is rebuilt, you go on to the next area and set a map. Is that how the second Dungeon of Enders works? Because that's not how the first one works at all, and I did not play the second one. But if that's the case, then it's similar to that. You're going to be rebuilding an area and then going to the next one. The enemies are just there to serve as like obstacles while you're harvesting resources and like doing stuff. Not as like waves, and you won't use their drops. Well, you might use their drops, I guess, to rebuild things, but we'll see. Swords and Settlers, patent pending, sounds pretty cool. What are you thinking for dev time until it's released? I have put about 40 or 50 hours into this so far to get to this point, but a lot of the back-end systems are like built and ready to go. Like I said, all the multiplayer is working. I have a full like ability system and a full like you can already upgrade all your weapons to level 3, and to increase those upgrades, all I have to do is drop in more assets and type in some numbers. So basically, and then now the building system is finished. I just finished this basically yesterday. I had some like multiplayer bugs with it, but I fixed those now. The last thing I really want to do is an upgrade station, and then everything after that is basic. Like core mechanics are finished. I feel like with the core mechanics, we could have a playable game like polished and finished within like a month of more development time. That's just kind of like there's a lot of like got to build like a title screen and like a save system and like stuff like that. Like just got to add that stuff in. So there's a lot more like polish and like little things we got to do, but got to get it on Steam too if we're gonna like if we're gonna like pull the trigger on it. But what I want to do is just get the core mechanics in and then make like one zone you're like filling out, like just kind of build out one zone so it's like feels like you're doing something, put some houses in or whatever, just so you can feel like accomplished when you finish that one zone. And then I'm going to send it out to our dedicated testers and see what they think. And if it's fun and they like it, then I will build another zone, and we'll like go from there. And then we will think about what sorts of feature creep we need to like keep it, make it more engaging. Jana likes the idea of quests. I do too. I think it'd be fun if you like spawned like a house or whatever, and all the NPCs that spawn with it, or like you built a house and an NPC would spawn with it, and then they could give you a quest. So you just walk up to the NPC and they'd probably just stand there, and then you'd have like a box in front of them, whatever. And then you just like talk to them, and then they're like, I have a quest for you, and they just tell you what they want you to do, and you go do it, and you probably bring it back to them. And it could be whatever. Maybe the quest just gets like auto completed. That'd just be even more simple, and you don't have to bring it back to them. That'd be great. And it would solve all the problems that Swords of Magic has, where players can't find the NPCs anymore. So I'm thinking about something like that. Maybe that could be kind of cool. There's a lot of feature creep like ideas in this. I just want to make sure everything stays nice and simple and easy to develop and easy to like replicate for future zones. I'm also thinking like we could just start with like 3 or 4 zones. Probably do Windless Woods. Maybe do the farmlands next or something, or we could do farmlands first, it doesn't matter, or Azura first, I guess. And then maybe we could do Blackrook Vale, Bone Reach, and North is North, and we could call it done. We could do the Everwood if we wanted to, but like I think we could just easily build like a world like that size. Village sim, sort of. Why would you want to go build new villages? Does the NPC maybe plop out of the house? Yeah, that's kind of thinking. That would be some like not that would be nice, a nice like polish touch if the building came up out of the ground and then the NPC walked out the door, and then you were like, cool, there's a person here now. That would be neat, and that would be like a nice little polish, like additional polish. But yeah, what is the purpose of building the villages? I guess you're just like settling the world. We could have an overarching storyline. I've been considering that. I don't know what it would be exactly, but yes, that's definitely a possibility. So, an example character models to show off. Curious what the art looks like. It would be all Swords of Magic art. I would like just rip off all Swords of Magic art, and that's what it would look like. I could just use some like art packs or like my own art or whatever. It would just increase development time. And I like the idea that it's a Swords of Magic spin-off, so I think it just makes sense to use the same art. So that's kind of what I'm leaning toward right now. So yeah, this sounds fun. I'm also curious what character design looks like. Yeah, it'll just be Swords and Magic characters. So I'll just be using like existing outfits and hats and stuff, and like building like outfit sets, whatever, like looks for them, and then you can unlock them at tailors and stuff. I also love the idea of like having secret places in the world where it's like, oh, what's this like the, you know, like you guys know where Roderick is on Azura with like the white like marble around him, and then like he's like on the little platform thing with the archway. It'd be cool to have some stuff like that, right? And then you can like find out like randomly as you're like exploring, and then you build that and it like unlocks something special, like maybe a new look or a new something cool that like changes your character, you know. I also like that there's a lot of potential in multiplayer for players to focus on harvesting, refining in different zones if the crafting recipes feed into each other. Yes, I like the idea of co-op crafting, like Pelea's cake parties. Yeah, so we could get into more depth with that kind of stuff too. Okay, so early on, my initial idea was like it'd be cool to build this like top down, like very simplified crafting game, but then you add a whole layer of like skills on it, like RuneScape skills, where you can like, as you're like chopping wood, you're like leveling up your chopping skill up to like level 100, and as you're mining, you're doing your mining skill, and as you're like crafting things, you're like leveling your crafting or whatever. But then I was like, it feels weird. Like, I just don't think there'd be like enough skills. Like let's say that we want to do a cooking skill, which I like the idea of that. But then like, what is the point of cooking? Like, there's got to be a purpose, especially if you're like grinding your skill to like a level 100. Then what is the purpose of cooking? And like, you've got to have a benefit to doing the cooking, other than just like leveling up your skill and making cooking easier. So the more I think about it, the more I think like maybe this isn't the place for that, because it's not like granular enough to be able to like have an inventory with like things you've cooked. And it like, because yeah, I don't know, the inventory, by the way, if you didn't notice, because I assume there's going to be, you know, like probably 100 resources in the game, as you harvest things, the last thing you've harvested gets popped to the left side. That's why like those get swapped sometimes. So then now as I mine something, it'll pop up on the left side, and it'll like rearrange that. So if I mine a tree or chop a tree again, it'll rearrange the resources so it's always on the left side. So the things you've used the least get kind of pushed, like slid over to the right slowly, and then eventually will just drop off and they won't show up in the inventory anymore, because it only shows so many. And so if you have like 20 things in your inventory, you won't see most of them. But I think there's gonna be a key that'll just like slide down and the full inventory, and you can see a list of all the things you have. And then I don't know if we're gonna do like, I want to do like full gamepad support, so you can like move your cursor through it and like see what it is. But we might just cheese it and do the same thing we did in Swords of Magic with a virtual cursor. You can just hover over it and it'll just tell you what the resource is. That's like all it's gonna do. But it would be weird if you had like, oh, I crafted a new pickaxe, whatever, and then I don't know. So the only thing I can think is like, maybe we just make like pickaxes or something like that as a resource or something, you know? So you like, there's a new place where you refine basically things into pickaxes, but it would just, you tell it how many you want to craft, and then it sits and refines and removes those resources to craft a pickaxe. And then you have a bunch of pickaxes, and then maybe you can drop those off at like a miner or something, or like a mine or whatever. And if you have like, once you put 10 pickaxes in there, then like the mine becomes operational, and then little miners like run around and like do their mining things, and you get resources. That's the only thing I can think that we're like crafting would make sense and like fit into this like loop. So like we can consider that. He's never gonna answer your question, Matt. Which question? So yeah, but if you guys want to see like the character, it's just the character. Right now, it's just a random character. This is, yeah, sure. It's just this character. This is just like a level 0 and like Swords of Magic character. So this is what your character will look like, kind of like when you start, except you'll probably have an outfit on, I assume, and you won't be in your undies, and you'll probably have hair. And we might do like maybe like a basic character creation thing. So like in the beginning, you can pick between like 3 character styles or something. I don't know. And then you unlock more outfits and like looks as you go through. Is this still Swords of Magic? No. What's up, Cersei? No, I can't remember if it was Cersei or Cersoni. Cersei. Golfer, sad to see Swords of Magic on the back burner for a bit, but this new game does sound cool. Yeah, my plan is still to work on it 1 day a week at least, but yeah, it's just, I had this like weird, like not epiphany, but like this like something clicked in my head the other day where I was talking, or I was thinking about what is the game, Dwarf Fortress. That game has been around for like 30 years or something. I don't know. It's probably been 30 years, but it's been a long time. Maybe it's been 20 years. And it's just like been a passion project for the devs who've just been working on it. And like they just keep adding onto it and making it bigger and better. And it's like so complex and crazy now. And I just started thinking like that's kind of what Swords of Magic is turning into, is like it's now been 6 years I've been working on it, and it's just like I keep adding stuff to it, and it's not going to be finished like anytime soon. And I just had this realization that like maybe that's how I need to start treating it, is instead of as like the primary project that I'm trying to release, start treating it as like a passion project, as like a hobby project, whatever, that I work on the side, that like every once in a while just gets an update, when I feel like working on it. And my primary job is making another game to make money, because it's just trying to make Swords of Magic make money is really, really difficult right now. And it's like focusing on that entirely is starting to become stressful and like causing anxiety. And it's starting to make me not like the project anymore. I can't tell you how many times I come to Jana and I'm just like, I'm sick of this game and I want to move on and do something else. I'm just done with this. And so I think by focusing my efforts on a new project to make the money, and then having Swords of Magic as the fun project that I love working on, that I'm passionate about, that I just want to keep building onto and adding all my cool ideas into, I think that's going to make Swords of Magic feel better and be a better game. And I'll work on it more often because it's going to be like my hobby. And the actual game, like my actual job, is working on other games. And I think I have to start looking at it like that, as like this long-term passion project that I'll just keep chipping away at for fun. Otherwise, I'm eventually just going to burn out fully and quit. And no one's gonna like that, I don't think. So anyway, so yeah, this is not Swords of Magic. What's up, Aquatic Tiger? What have I missed? I miss those cubic characters so much. Sadly, I can't resist the popularity of anime stuff to both me and player base, and now I'm making low poly anime characters. That's fine. Let me catch up on YouTube chat. Sorry, I've been missing a little bit. Oh, it wasn't criticism, it was more what's the reason for building. No, LaQuest, I think that was a really good question. 100%, that was a great question. And those are like the best questions to like ask too, because it's like sometimes those are things that like the developer don't like. We don't think about that kind of stuff. We're just kind of like, this will be a fun mechanic, and we don't think about like why does the player want to do that thing. So yeah, I totally agree. Love how many odd little nooks and crannies there in Swords of Magic. Yeah, same. And I want to keep that like discovery vibe in this game too. Like I love the idea of like wandering around being like, oh, what's this thing? And then discovering it and building something and getting something interesting and unique from it. So I want to keep that vibe here too. It's a spin-off game, so it's meant to feel a lot like you're in the world of Swords of Magic. So it should feel like have a lot of the same vibes. But I want to just do something simplified that we can actually finish, that feels like a complete project and a complete like experience. That we can make a little bit of money from. Just watched the start of the stream and came up to the live. Love the game idea. I love that game. I forget the name. What was it called? There's magic stuff. No, the game that's like this one. My Little Universe. Yeah, that one. It was fun, but got too grindy in the third world. Yeah, we made it to the snow world and we've slowed down and haven't really been playing it. And I don't think it's because it's grindy. I think it's because it's sort of like, it's just like we've realized that it's the same thing over and over again, and it's lost its charm. Got to scoot, but I'll watch the VOD later. See you later, Matt. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. It was fun. We got too grindy. It's cool that you have both the Twitch and YouTube chat at once on stream. Yeah. People need a break once in a while, and a sudden flash of inspiration is definitely worth pursuing. Yeah, 100%. And again, this is still very much in prototype like mode. Like this, I'm after Swords of Magic, after we basically just dove into Swords of Magic blind and really didn't have a plan for how it was going to be finished. I'm very afraid of doing that again. I don't like jumping into games and just being like, let's see what happens, and like committing to that. However, I do love jumping into games and just seeing what happens. It's just more like I want to prototype it out and make sure that like what happens is actually going to be fun before I commit and invest time and money into it. because time is money and it takes a long time to make games. And I don't have a lot of time to waste because I have so much stuff going on in my personal life. And yeah, I guess I should also announce that I think haven't signed a contract yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm officially on a new dev team with, and this is going to cut into some of my time too. Right now, maybe like 10 to 15 hours a week, maybe, but probably eventually it'll go up a little bit depending on the project and how far it goes along. But Ryuthamus, who has been a longtime supporter and friend of me and he's been hanging out on the stream a lot. I don't know if he's here today, probably not, but he has another project. I don't know how much I can say, but I'm working with him now on his project. It is a paid position, so like my time is well spent over there, and it's a cool project. And I feel like he mentioned streaming, so there's a chance that I might be streaming that project as well when I'm working on it. Maybe I'll talk to him about it and see once like contracts have been signed and everything. But yeah, I start that like next month, so it'll be like it'll probably be just a little bit of my time here and there each week, which is well worth it, like 1 day a week or something right now. But yeah, and it's money coming in, so it'll help a little bit too. And then these side projects won't be as like important to rush out, so I can take a little more time on them because I'll have a little bit of supplemental income. So if you guys want some help with quest texts or translations on your hobby, then no translations. I have decided that it's not worth the effort to translate Swords and Magic. When I calculated out based on all the quotes I've gotten, I got a bunch of quotes from translating places and like cheap places, like overseas places that are just like really dirt cheap to translate. Even those places, it would cost way more money than I think we would bring in with a new audience. Like I'm talking like $50,000-$60,000 to translate the whole game, and that would be like professionals going through and like who've done this before and like doing that full-time work, like translate the game over like a couple months. So now imagine like a random person just like trying to help out and do it like over time through like an Excel, like a spreadsheet. That would take probably like years to translate the full game. There are a lot of NPCs, and every single NPC has custom dialogue and unique dialogue, and it is just way too much of an endeavor to do. And at the end of the day, I would love it if every single person in the world could play Swords and Magic regardless of their language, of the language barrier, but I just don't think it's going to happen. I think this is just one of those games where we didn't have enough of a boom. Like if this was like, you know, like if we blew up like, you know, Valheim did or something, then 100%, you know, let's invest $50,000-$60,000 to like translate it, because it'd be worth it at that point, because we'd probably get that money back plus some, and then it would be worth it because we'd have we'd have money coming in and we wouldn't have to like worry about the money. But at the level it's at right now, it's not worth translating. So I'm pretty sure Swords Magic is going to stay an English only game for the foreseeable future, unless we get some miraculous, like, you know, Among Us like success where like overnight some random YouTuber picks it up and everyone's like, what is this game? And they all buy it and it blows up. But I just don't think it's going to happen. It's just not like, I don't think that Swords Magic has enough like virality to like do that. So, and it's hard coming to those terms, because I always thought, in the back of my head, I always thought like one day someone big is going to pick this game up and realize that this is just like a really cool like Skyrim, you know, like a more casual, like stylized Skyrim, and they're going to be like, this is really, really cool and I want to keep playing this. And then a lot of people are going to see it and get it. But that hasn't happened in 6 years, and I just don't think it's going to. So I'm not holding my breath for it anymore. What's up, Khalid? Khalid? Sorry, I don't know why I pronounced that weird. This is a spin-off game of my main game. It's hard to explain. It's a top-down. It is multiplayer. You can play it, like online multiplayer, and that is all functional and being built from the ground up with it. I'm just only testing one player right now because it already is bad for my webcam for some reason when I have Unreal open. But it's like a resource harvesting game. You can just like click and hold to harvest resources. Your tool automatically swaps when you harvest new resources. So I just swapped to a pickaxe there. This is just a random bunch of resources for testing purposes. And then once you have enough resources, you can walk over to one of these things. This is all placeholder. It's all very much prototype right now. But the art style is just the same as like my main game. It's just a lot less like polished right now because obviously we're just prototyping. But then you can drop off resources to build things. This is gonna build like a little refinery, and then I can walk over it and refine some of those resources as many as I want. So I can just do that, and it'll refine them. And then right now it just auto deposits back into the inventory, but it'll probably eventually pop them out to the side here, and you have to come back and pick them up. Haven't decided. We haven't worked out all the kinks yet. But that's kind of the game so far. There's gonna be an upgrade station because like these trees right here are too high level for me. So the world will be kind of like an open world, almost kind of a bit of a linear experience where you're like kind of start in one zone. You can explore that whole zone fully, but then like you take certain paths to get to the next zone, and then the next zone will have higher tier resources and more things to unlock. You can build. You'll be able to build like buildings, like mines. Maybe like open up dungeons. There'll be like fun secret stuff you can build. You might be, like, I'm kind of thinking like maybe if you build like a building with an NPC, they could give you a quest once the building gets built. Or if it's like a lumberjack's hut or something, then he might like wander around and look like go harvest some resources for you, and then bring him back to his hut, and then like drop him off, and you can go pick him up whenever you have the time. So it's going to be very much like, it's just like an incremental like crafting progression game. I'm leaning toward having enemies to fight, but I'm also like kind of 50-50 on it right now, because one, is going to add a lot of complexity to the game, and two, because it's not like right now you can like run in any direction. I feel like combat's going to turn into this sort of thing where you're like attacking and then running away from it, and then attacking and running away from it, and it's just going to it feels a little stale. But I'm considering maybe when you attack an enemy, it auto locks onto the enemy, and then you'll start strafing around, so the character will always be facing the enemy instead, and then you can like maybe dodge roll like with shift or something, or spacebar. There's jumping. I don't know if jumping is going to become a thing, but you can jump. Anyway, but yeah, maybe with dodge rolling, whatever, then it like makes combat a little more interesting, and then it'd be worth doing. But I also like the idea of boss fights. I really like the idea of having like dungeons with boss fights, and they have like special loot in them, or whatever. But yeah, we need to figure out like what other things you can like build or craft, or like maybe have upgrades. I don't know. Maybe there's like a skill tree, and you like fight monsters to get like experience, and then you use experience to like level up in your skill tree, and then skill tree you can put points into like harvesting. So like when I harvest, I can like have a higher chance of getting secondary resources, like that sap I only get like every like 5 hits or so. I don't know why all the things are bouncing when I hit this. I thought I fixed that. I should only be bouncing the one that changes. I need to fix it. Anyway, but yeah, so I'm not getting tree sap very often, so maybe there's like a perk or something you can put in to like have a higher chance of getting secondary resources, or you can increase your harvesting speed so I can hit faster. Maybe you can multiply your resource, like what you bring in. Maybe you can level up how long it takes to refine things, so you can like upgrade your refineries. So like there's just a lot of like potential for like more things you can do. This isn't gonna, oh, it is, it's not gonna build it. Oh, it is building it. Interesting. That's interesting. When I duplicated that, it like kept them linked. And maybe you can like, maybe this takes a lot longer and you can upgrade, or maybe like there's a perk to like reduce how much it costs. Maybe there's like shops in the game you can buy resources, and you can like, you know, be a better like haggler and get better prices at shops. I don't know. There's a lot of things where I think we could have some sort of right at the moment it's not procedurally generated. I think I'm gonna do handcrafted just because it's easier. Like building a whole procedurally generated world and then trying to figure out where we're gonna put like cities you can build and stuff would be kind of a pain. I kind of want to learn to use Unreal's. I'm using Unreal 5 for this, which my other project is Unreal 4, so there's a lot more tools in here that I haven't played with yet. But I want to learn the procedural tools, so I can use those tools to build the world. Because I have a ton of resources, like a ton of assets from my other project that we'll be using for this, like 1,500 static meshes that I'll be probably not bringing them all in, but as I need them, I'll bring them in. So I'll have there's a lot of options for building out a whole world, but I'm really tempted to just like, I'm going to do an environment, a terrain. I won't be doing a flat ground because that's going to get lame after a while. So we'll be able to like explore up in mountains and stuff like that. I think it'll be a lot more interesting to like explore and stuff. Just have to keep the camera in mind, the camera angle in mind as I'm building out the world, which is new for me because in my other game, it's a third person like adventure action game. So, yeah, So that's kind of, yeah, that's where we're at. With that many worlds, wouldn't be worth it. Words. Yeah, got it. What did you say your main game's name is? It's called Swords and Magic and stuff. If you scroll down, in the description, there's a link to it on YouTube. And there's a link on Twitch too, if you're on Twitch for some reason and you're trying to find it. Just scroll down to the bio section or whatever. You'll see it. There's links everywhere for it. But yeah, it's called Swords and Magic and stuff. It's an open world action RPG. It's a cozy cooperative open world RPG. It is multiplayer, it's online multiplayer. Up to 16 players can join your world. You join other people's worlds. Your player is like locally saved, so you can take your same character, not your player, your character to all the different worlds. Like you can go to different like players' servers and play with different players, and you never lose any progress. But yeah, it's very much combat focused, but there's like farming and housing. You can buy plots and build houses on them and decorate them. Buy furniture to build. You can buy crafting station, or you can buy or build. Actually, I don't think you can buy crafting stations. You can craft crafting stations and build them on your plots, and then make like little bases. There's 3.5 zones to explore right now. They're all pretty substantial. A lot of players have well over 100 hours in the game, so there's a lot of stuff going on. And you can have a chicken mount. Yeah, there's mounts too. Oh, that's another thing. I was considering mounts for this game too. If the world's big enough, we might add mounts too to like increase your movement speed. I also just think mounts are really fun in general. So there's a really good chance we'll be adding mounts. So another thing I have to keep in mind, and like the hardest part about all this is that because I want it so simple, I really want to keep controller support really, really simple. And I honestly have not even tested at all with controller support yet, which is a big no-no. And I've tried to build the UI with controller support in mind using the new common UI practices in Unreal Engine, but I have not tested them yet at all. So that's something I'm probably going to have to revamp a lot of UI when I actually start testing Gamepad. But like when it comes to things like mounts and stuff, I have to then think about like, well, what button do you push to get on your mount? What button do you press to like swap to like your weapons, if you're gonna do weapons? Like, yeah, and I do think swapping into weapons is a good idea, because then you can like have a little more control over how you do combat. In my little universe, when an enemy shows up, your tool automatically switches to your sword. And so what happens is if you're like fighting an enemy and you have to dodge out of the way or like run out of the way or something of an attack, and you walk near a tree or whatever, then your weapon switches back to an axe. And then when you go back to fight the enemy again, you have an axe, and you usually hit it once with the axe first, which does like no damage. And then you're like wasted that whole time, and you run away again, and then it switches it from your sword to your axe again, and you're just like, this is so annoying. So I really want to avoid that issue. So I really think maybe just like hitting Y or something on your controller, or maybe B or something, will just auto swap between like combat mode and like resource harvesting mode. And then when you're in combat mode, like X will swing your sword, or left click will swing your sword, and then Y will like charge your bow and let you like aim your bow, and then or right click on mouse. And I think that'll feel really good, because then combat will definitely be able to have like a larger role in this game than it does in my little universe. But they're similar games, but they're definitely very different. And I have like way different like ideas in mind for progression and stuff. Anyway, gonna rewatch Game of Thrones, so good luck. Have fun. I love Game of Thrones. We just finished it for the first time, I think a couple of years ago, maybe a year ago, and I want to restart it again. Anyway, I want to get the upgrade stuff working this stream, since I've literally done nothing and we've been live for an hour and a half now. Before I get too hungry and want to go get lunch soon. So let's see if we can get the upgrade bench working. I don't have an upgrade actor at all yet. So we're gonna do like, we have a deposit build zone. We'll use the resource drop off point, and it will work just like a refinery. So I think we're gonna just duplicate the refinery and start with that. And this will just be like an upgrade station. All upgrade stations will upgrade all tools. Bad blueprint. Why? because it's not a refinery. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm not proud of this. This is going to be cast to upgrade interface anyway. And I don't think we have an upgrade station. I don't think we need this anymore. Widget switcher running will be a thing still. And this will have a running option. Like we will set this to running. Let's set the default interface to the upgrade. Okay, that's all of the issues there. That's nice. And then let's make this. Let's go to the viewport. Let's change this to a bench. Upgrade bench? Sure, that's fine. And then we don't need an output area. We're not going to output anything. We don't need a decal. So that's for the output area. The deposit area is going to be like right in front of it. Like right here. Oh, there it goes. It just took a second to load. Right. So that'll be our upgrade. Oh, and there's the upgrade bench. So that worked really, really well. Like, basically almost done already. But I think... Actually, no, the upgrade bench like happens all by itself. So we don't even need like the start refinery thing, I don't think. Oh, well, no, we don't. We don't need this at all. Which means we don't need this. Or this. And we don't need to start the refinery. Actually, because of multiplayer, if you upgrade a tool, and another player walks over to upgrade a tool, I guess it'll be fine. We'll just like lock you in there and then other players can't use it while it's being upgraded. It'll be fine. All that can go. All this can go. All this can go. We can just call like an upgrade function that will that'll do like a sound effect. Resource drop off build. I'm not even gonna worry about this delay. We're just gonna do this right away. This is for event build. Right. So no, we don't. Yeah, no, we do want to do that. This delay is here. I just think I just deleted the comment for it. Yeah. There we go. If we place one of these in the world for some reason where players don't need to build it, then this will auto produce the build location or the drop off location, where the other one, this is what happens if it actually gets like built manually. Anyway, and then close interface. That's like it. What's down here? Multicast effects. We don't need that anymore. We don't need can refine. I don't even know if this does anything. Is valid inventory. Refine process. We're gonna do all this in UI. There's no reason not to for this. Refinery timer handle, refinery inventory, we don't need. Resource drop off, we need that running, no. Progress, no. Refining progress, don't need that. Okay, boom, there's everything. Okay. This wizard needs her beauty sleep direly, so she will be heading off. Good luck. I look forward to seeing what this becomes. Sorry, LaQuestion. If this was a super long delay and you didn't get a response, I'm sorry. One question before sleep: is progression in this tree tied to your character or your world? In this game, if that's what you're talking about, I guess that would probably be tied. Oh, that's a good question. If you had to spend resources that you earned from like fighting monsters, and those resources were shared between your whole world or like all your friends, then it would have to be a global upgrade. But if we have a skill tree that's like a personal one, then when you fight monsters or whatever and you get experience, then that could be done locally, and that would be like a local that would be like a reason to like carry your character across different worlds, or like have the same character, I guess. I don't know how we're gonna do that, but yeah, I would say ideally it would be local, and you would just gain like experience differently than like other resources, so then you can spend it differently than other resources. So I would say we'll probably aim toward local. If you're still here. If you're not still here, I'm so sorry. Anyway, so yeah, this should be mostly working. We just need to make sure we need like to populate the upgrade station. Yes. So we should be getting, let's see, for every upgrade tool list, we're creating a widget and adding it to the child. I wonder why that's not working. The tool widget, this should be working and it's not. Oh. No, it's just working because that's a default. Why isn't that working? Let's print this and see if it works when we walk over it. Nope. Oh, then that would be why, because they probably are not calling this anywhere. Right. We're gonna bind inventory updated so we can see changes when we init the interface. I don't know if we're actually doing that here. We'll try it. We'll do populate. Is can upgrade built? Yep. Close interface working. Ad break. So those are all the tools I have right now that I can upgrade, and now we just need to fill out the required resources for each one and then have the upgrade button work. So when we populate this, after we're done filling out those, actually we should do it for each one, I guess. We'll get we have a data table of all of our tool levels. Do this, do string. There. Thanks, have a great day. See you later, LaQuestion. Have a great sleep. Thanks for coming in. Cool. File, save. Hey, Brendan, thanks you so much for the 40 months. Oh my god, 40 months. How long is that? $40 divided by 12. 3.3 years. I don't know why I had to do that. I couldn't do it in my head. It astounds me sometimes, like, what I have to, like, pull a calculator open for. And then I, like, type in the calculator and I'm like, why didn't I knew that. Anyway. We'll loop through this and we'll do, we need to get the upgrade resources. If this is equal to this, let's cache this. Sorry about the loud noises. Those are fireworks. It is almost 3 here, so you know people have to be setting off fireworks in the middle of the day. cached tool type, and then we can grab that tool type and plug in here. Okay, did that wrong. This one. All right, so if this is the right tool type, oh my god, stop. Hide. Then we can loop through these. And we're going to create a widget. This is going to be our upgrade. Nope, resource requirement slot. Oh, we don't have to break that, that's nice. This, and then inventory tilt will be random integer in range between like 0 and 3, I think it is. Let's find out. Zero and 4. Kind of silly I have to do that, but it looks nice. Help how? Yeah, because Murica. Yeah. I don't know, like, fireworks are cool, I guess. I feel like they're a huge waste of money. I don't know what we're doing today. We were making pulled pork. It's in a slow cooker right now. I love pulled pork. We make it all the time. Well, we haven't made it in a while actually. And I need to go make some coleslaw here soon. Because I love coleslaw on my pulled pork. And then we're gonna make some corn because Abby's never shucked corn before, and I did all the time as a kid because so we've always bought like frozen corn with her growing up because it was just so much easier. But they had like a huge thing of corn, and she was like, "What's this?" And I'm like, "That's corn." So we bought some corn so she could shuck some corn with me. So we're gonna go do that in a little bit too, and we'll probably boil some corn, cook some corn. I'd like to grill it, but we don't have a grill anymore. Yeah. Your sister spent $500. Oh my god, that is a huge waste of money. Yeah, I don't know. I don't find fireworks all that interesting, I guess. I don't know. Cached upgrade requirements. I think I need to add or set this. Uh-oh. Is this not the same thing? Tool data. Oh, duh, right here. That'll cache each one though. Wait, hold on. Oh, right. Duh. No, it won't. I guess I can just do this. Let's see, even better. Okay, we create these, but where do we put it? We have a box here for it, I thought. This one. All right, and then it's asking for owning player. We don't need that. Let's press play and see if it worked. It's adding way too many. Because it's adding them for each one. Oh, we need to figure out which one. That's right. Okay, hold on. We're close. I think we need to. We add these. Yeah, that's what we're doing wrong. All of this needs to be done afterward, based on what is selected. Oh right, this shouldn't be done here at all. None of this should be done here. let's put this in a new function. We'll call this populate required resources. And then, yeah, this is done and easy. And then, yeah. I guess we'll put this, no, we won't do that. This needs to get, we need to get our carousel. We need to rename this just because it bothers me. This. And we do get index, get active widget index. That's not gonna work. Well, yeah, well, actually, we do get child app. Yeah. And we cast this to a tool slot. Upgrade slot? Is it tool upgrade slot? Yes. You guys like my gridless Unreal setup? Get tool type. Compile. Okay. And then we can cache this, I guess. Oh, what? That was stupid. Okay. All right, so now we are looping through just this one. We should empty this first. So we grab our get children, no, clear children. It's the only profession in the world where you can destroy children. And get children and clear children. and like not get arrested. What's up, Bod? I'm feeling much better. My ears are still not 100% back. My throat was like really sore again. I think because I had so much like drainage from the virus or something that was like making my throat sore again. But it's almost like 100% back. I'm like 90%, and honestly, just compared to what I was like a few weeks ago, I feel like I'm 110%. It's just so much better. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. Thanks for asking. I appreciate it. How do the nodes auto connect? Oh, Living Dead. I use a plugin called Node Graph Assistant. It's like $15. I've used it for like years now, and every single project I start up, I'm like, as soon as I realize like I don't have it working, or I don't have it installed, then I add it in. Yeah, it's really cool. You can grab a node and shake it, and it comes right off. Like it shakes off, and you can attach it back in, auto connect it. The one thing that's a little bit annoying is sometimes it auto connects when you don't want it to, but you can just turn it off, and then it no longer like auto connects. It'll still insert. I have an insert turned on, so it'll insert between wires. I can turn that off too. But yeah, it's pretty cool. What else can you do with it? You can also switch to your wire styles. I don't like the other wire styles at all, but it does come with it, so I guess it's handy. I'm not a fan of it. But anyway. Yeah, I think it's well worth it. One of my favorite things with it is when you have like a struct, like I make like a variable, like, doesn't matter, let's just do like player data. I think this is like the biggest struct I have, and I go like break, and then you need to like make a struct. So this is not a good example, but then you can just like auto snap them together and it's just like super satisfying. And then it also has a cutting option, so you can hold Alt and drag. I think you get to change the keybind for that because I always forget. And then you can just slice through it, which is pretty cool. And then if you have like something you need to connect to like multiple things, you can hold Shift, and then you can like click and like place it in multiple places. I don't have a good example here. But if I had like a whole bunch of like, I don't know, inputs for like integers or something that I wanted to plug in or whatever, then I could just like hold Shift and like click and drag down, and it just like like fills them all. It's great. There's a lot of cool features on it. I highly recommend it to anyone using Blueprints for more than like, you know, a few hours a day. If you're just playing around, maybe not worth it. Or if you're like using like odds using C++, probably really not like messing with Blueprints, probably not worth it. But if you're gonna spend like more than like a couple hours in Blueprints, well worth $15. Anyway, I think this will work. Let's see, we're looping through all of the tool levels. Once we find the right tool, we are getting requirements, or the upgrade requirements, and then we are looping through those and adding them to the list. I think that'll work. Let's test. Oh wait, it won't work. Hold on. Because we populate that, but then every time the carousel is changed, which I think I can do tool carousel. I thought we could bind to it, but I guess maybe we can't. That's fine. We'll just do this and do populate requirements every time I change it. Wait for it to load. There we go. Not working. Oh, we just crashed the engine. You didn't see that? That didn't happen. I did that on purpose. I was just like, you know what? I think it needs a restart. So that was me doing it. I did it on purpose. It didn't crash. I don't get it. Skip restore. Yeah. Anyway, Odd, how are you doing today? Were you... Oh wait, we gotta put the thing back in. All right, so it's not working, and I don't know why. Every time we change the carousel, okay, so we didn't populate at the beginning either, which is we should be doing when we first populate the whole interface. I'm gonna test it again because I just feel like it should be working. And there should definitely not be anything in there that would like cause it to crash. There's no infinite loops or anything. Why are we not like cycling through now? Now the populate inventory isn't working. Oh, you know, I don't know. That should be working. I don't understand. All right, well, I guess we will. You know what I've realized with UE5 is like breakpoints are really finicky. Like I use breakpoints all the time in Swords and Magic, and I never really have issues with them. But a lot of the times here, like I'll set a breakpoint and it just won't fire, and I'm like, oh, I guess it's not working. And then I'll like play with it forever, and then I'll come back in and realize that it's like randomly chosen a debug like object, like automatically for some reason. I don't know why. Like, especially with like this kind of stuff. Like I have all these. Oh, I don't anymore. But if I have like multiples of these sitting around, it'll like automatically just pick one randomly to be the debug thing, and I don't know why. It should just call in all of them. And even if I set it back, if I like change it to like, yeah, like this one, like it just randomly picked one to choose. But if I change it back and then I test play again and come back, it'll automatically choose one again. And then it's like, so it only triggers the breakpoint on that one. And it's really annoying. I don't know why that's happening. So like for here, I would usually just be like, let's just add a breakpoint and I'll just hit play and make sure this like gets through all of them. And then a lot of times it just doesn't work. It works that time. Of course it does. Also, I've noticed that it's also a lot more finicky in multiplayer when you're testing clients and servers. And this is multiplayer. And like a ghost in the machine. Yeah, no kidding. Not sure if memory is faulty, but I'm doing well. Got my nephew in town for a little while. Not sure if memory is faulty. If your memory is faulty? Or what? Or if memory is faulty and Unreal? That's cool, nephew in town. Is he staying with you? I assume if he's in town. Anyway. Okay. There's 3 of them. So why are these not working? Okay, so if that's working, why are these ones not working then? That's working. Tool carousel. We should be adding to it, and if it's greater than yeah, okay. I don't understand why this isn't working. Okay, this shouldn't have anything to do with it, but let's unplug that and see if it works as it's supposed to. Nope. Why is this not working? We only have one child. -1. Should be going -1. So this is probably working, but for some reason now we're not populating the upgrades correctly. Oh. I don't get it. This is I know this is working because we just broke this. I'm so confused. This should be 100% working. I really need to set up source control. Yeah, I printed all 3 of them. So why is it not adding all 3 of them? System memory, okay. That's cool, that's fun. You guys gonna do anything fun while he's in town? On Monday, I start I teach at a summer camp in Bellevue. It's called Girls Make Games, and it's for girls between ages 8 and 18. And it's like a camp where they just come and they get dropped off in the morning, and then they leave at like 5 o'clock or whatever. They get lunch and everything, and then we just like make games, which is really awesome. Gym and beach, nice. That sounds like fun. But yeah, so we do like a whole like it's at Crystal Dynamics, the studio that makes Tomb Raider, the Bellevue location. And there's a bunch of other camps too. There's also one of the other Crystal Dynamics in California. forget where it's at now. Anyway, but yeah, it's really fun. We do like a lesson, and like we talk about like, you know, game design or coding or something really generic. They use Construct 3, and then my team uses Unreal Engine, and all the other teams use Unity, and they make 2D games, which is whatever. I'm trying to convince them to switch to Unreal Engine for everyone. The problem is that it's just so beefy that a lot of the girls' computers, like laptops, can't handle it. And so for our team, they like bought us a bunch of laptops to do last year, and so I had to go set them all up, and then they could use those if their laptops can handle it. And only one girl, I think, had a laptop that could run Unreal, and then we set it up on her laptop so she could use it at home too, which is cool. But it's really fun. Last year they do this thing called demo day. So like the first week is like learning about the engine. They do like a little like platformer like walkthrough thing. The Unreal team gets to do like a 3D platformer with like a whole like platformer kit that I built for them with a bunch of like blueprints. They just like drop in and then change like the details and like to change how it works and stuff. It's got like spike pits and like a bunch of like building blocks from the Kenny 3D assets and stuff. And they can like obviously tweak like jump height and like how much damage their like wand does. They have like a little magic wand, and then like how much damage enemies do and how fast they are and everything, and how big they are, and they love like playing with it all. It's really fun. And then the second 2 weeks they make their own game, and like the counselors like split all the girls up into teams, and then they work on games together. So last year we did my team wanted to do like a horror mystery game. So it was like a detective game, and you like walked around and like investigated clues in like this big dining hall, like dining room in like this mansion. And so if you like found all the clues, you could like pull up like the dossier of all the people who like worked there, and we use like AI to generate a bunch of like images of like the people that worked there. And we used an AI like voiceover tool. I think we used 11 Labs, maybe, I can't remember what we used. And so they like made a whole like voiceover intro and everything. And then we found like some music from one place that was free, and we found a bunch of assets from other places that were free, and like downloaded some stuff from the marketplace and everything. And then I ended up modeling something for them, I think a pocket watch, and like throwing like a metallic material on it because we couldn't find one anywhere. And we put our own like a picture of like the two of the people in it and everything. It was really cool. It was really fun. And then they do like a demo day thing where all the people who like work at GMG, like all the higher ups and everything, and then they have some industry professionals like people from Xbox and like PlayStation and stuff come in, and they have a whole panel of judges, and they play all the games and then rate them. And then my team's game won last year, which was really fun. The girls make games going to PAX. I've been talking to them about going to PAX and doing a booth, and they are like right now, because with like the camp going on and everything, they're a little stressed, so they don't want to like talk about it. But we're gonna reach out to them and see about doing a booth for them at PAX this year, because I would love to run a booth, and I'm tempted to be like, hey, if you let us like advertise Swords and Magic at your booth, like we'll run your booth at PAX for free for you. You just have to pay for the booth, and then we can just like put a Swords and Magic banner up, whatever, and have like one laptop playing the game and be like, yeah, we make this game and then we teach at this camp, so like we know what we're doing. I think that'd be really fun, and it'd like help us like promote our game too. So yeah, we're in talks to do that. But yeah, they've done a PAX booth like several years ago before we worked with them, and like I guess it didn't work super well. I don't know, but yeah, it's really fun. We have a lot of fun, and then they like pay for our lunches and stuff. So every morning you come in, and we have like Monday's like burger day or something. I can't remember what all the days are. I think Wednesday's burger day, and then Friday's always pizza day. It's the best day of the week. Aquabats. And anyway, yeah, and so it's really fun. You get to come in and like order your food in the morning, and then they play games for like an hour before everything. And then we always like, because of Crystal Dynamics, they have like an awesome like studio to like hang out in, and they have like this like built-in kitchen and everything with like a bunch of snacks and everything. It's really fun. And then they have like couches set up with like TVs and like switches and stuff. So every year it seems like it's just like Smash Brother tournament after Smash Brother tournament. We'll see what they play this year. But I learned a lot about Smash Brother. I ended up coming home and buying it on my Switch so I could get better at it, because the girls just like stomped me. And I just kept thinking like, I'm good at games. Like I'm really good at games. Why am I getting my ass kicked so bad? But they're really, really good at games, and they wrecked me every time. I came home and practiced with like the same character for like hours and hours to like get the moves right. and I still just got like, they just wiped the floor with me. It's pretty funny. Anyway, but yeah, it's a blast. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, that starts Monday, and then I have a side gig that I just got hired on for, working with a guy who I've been friends with for a while, who wants me to work on some blueprint and like some modeling stuff and some design stuff for him on his game. He's starting to like build up a little bit of a team, and then they're doing Next Fest, so we're trying to get a demo out for Next Fest, and that starts in August. And I'm working on a side project right now for like, that's like a spin-off game for Swords of Magic. So I have a lot going on this summer, but I'm excited. It's gonna be fun. Anyway, yeah, I don't know what's going on with this. Oh, we're gonna print each tool. We did that. We're adding children. What is going on? I wonder if, because I renamed it, like something is being buggy. But then we crashed and reopened, so it should be working. Sword pickaxe. No, that's working fine. So what? Maybe I broke something. That's fine. I do have some weird stuff in here that we like had set up before we move this over, but I swear we just tested this and it was working just fine. So I don't see how I could have broken anything here. Tool carousel, active widget index, -1. If that's less than 0, then we should get the children count -1, which would give us 0. And then this one we just add 1. Children count -1. If it's greater than that, we go back to 0. That should work just fine. Oh, right. So children count -1, so we'll put us at the end. That makes more sense. It's 0 in our case because we have no children, and I don't know why. Hold on. Let's print. Let's print. I want to print the index that this is at. There's 100%. What is happening? This was just working. What is broken with this now? I don't get it. Like this, like why is this not adding them? And it's adding one of them. Is my other one broken? Yep. Why is this one broken? What is happening? This one was working just fine and I haven't touched this. This is like literally like, this is one of those situations where like, you know everything you're doing is right and it doesn't make any sense. And it's just broken. Oh wait, hold on. I didn't have enough resources. Okay, I lied. Okay, no, this one's fine. Okay, phew. That was like engine broken. That was like the engine's broken. There's something wrong with the engine. Okay, that's fine. This one's working. So if that one's working, why is this one not adding? Why is it not working? It was just working. Like, it's doing this 3 times. This should definitely have 3 children. Even if it was just like doing the same child, I would understand that. But like, it added one once, great. Another one, great. But why are they not showing up then? My god, I'm so frustrated. There's 3 slots. They exist. They're in the child. Why are we not swapping between them? Set active widget index. I don't know which button that was. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Was that just printing? Was that just printing? No. I think one button was printing. Okay, I'm at a loss. Oops, I didn't mean to close that. Damn it. Upgrade. What's going on? Hey, what's up, Arithmus? I was just talking about you. Were you here when I was talking about working with you? How come your engine looks bluish? It's what's it called? Not a skin. You can go to edit, editor preferences, and then you have right at the top here a theme. And you can make your own themes. It's like, this is what it normally looks like. And then I have my own blue theme because I like it. And then you can scroll down here and you can put a background image in for behind here. Like, this is just like some random like little squares. And then you can also modify your grid colors, like your grid lines and stuff, which is really cool. So I don't know. I just wanted to look different. I was playing a game with boys. Cool. What were you playing? Kidalex, thanks so much for the sub. 46 months. Jeez. That's a lot. Finally caught a stream. I'm usually at work whenever you stream. Yeah, I'm streaming kind of later today. I figured it was going to be kind of a dead stream because it's 4th of July. But that's cool. It's whatever. I'm so stumped. I do not understand why this is not working. Let's just do, I want to just do... Yeah, I'll do this. Let's just do a random... between 0 and 2, I guess, because there should be 3 of them at all times. I'm just so baffled by this. It's the exact same code as in the other one, and it's not working. I don't get it. Like, it's adding the child. I'm just so confused why it's not. Let's set the active index here. Like, this is working. I don't get it. Like, it's looping through this 3 times. It's adding the tool, the tool type. It's adding the child to the tool carousel. Like, and we're able to print it, so it's actually creating these, and we're getting it. Like, it's getting an output where it's printing them. When I walk over it, it printed panel 0, 1, and 2, and then look, it just changed to it. Oh, we crashed again. Son of a... Watch this, like, watch it just restart. No, right, it's like a spin-off, like, resource, like, incremental, like, crafting game, sort of. It's like a top-down cookie clicker game, almost. I guess not really. I guess not really at all. I don't know how to explain it. I've been working on it for about a week now. I didn't want to announce it until today, because I wasn't sure if it was going to be fun, and I'm still not 100% sold on it, so we'll see what happens. But it's meant to be like a 2-week to like 2-month project at most. But I'm really tempted to do this game jam next month. I'm starting work with you, so I'm gonna lose a little bit of time to that, but that's totally fine. But I'm tempted to do this game jam. There's a $300 prize, which is take it or leave it, but I'm just kind of like, it's an Unreal only game jam and it looks fun. Oh my god, there's 27 people now. There was 8 yesterday, and I was like, I don't want to join because I don't want to, like, this is terrible. I didn't want to promote the jam. I'll join. I didn't want to promote the jam because I didn't want a ton of people to join it because I wanted a better chance of winning, which is just such a stupid move. I've joined it now. Now I feel less guilty. I don't know, it just sounds like fun. I might do it. We're thinking about doing it. What's up, Mr. Mossy? Working on becoming a better at programming. Cool. Me too. Aren't we all? All right, let's... I don't know why we crashed that time. Oh, I gotta drag it back out. Oh. We're crashing again. What is going on? All right, I'll look at the code again. Maybe I'm just blind. Maybe I'm just missing something really obvious. I'm just being stupid. Jam for Ryan, interesting. Yeah, I was not subscribed to his YouTube channel. Not to be offensive, but to your point, most of the people who join his stuff are low end. Your chances are good. Oh. What's up, Wolfie? It's going good. How are you? Yeah, I don't know. I don't watch his stuff. I was not subscribed. I just saw it. He has like very little rules. It says that, let's see what the rules said. Games are to be made in Unreal Engine only, any version. Great, no problem. You can use any graphical assets that you may already have, either made by yourself or another. So that makes me wonder if you can. The way it's worded, it sounds like you can't acquire new assets once the jam starts, but I don't think that's the case. I think that it just means like you can just use any graphics assets, any assets you want. It should just say you can use any assets that you're legally allowed to use in a game, but whatever. You can work solo as part of a team. I'll probably just do solo unless someone really wants to join me. I don't know. We'll see. And then submissions have to be PG. So there's no rules about like that the game can't be started before the jam, but like I don't know. I mean, it's a $300 cash prize, which is like, again, not exactly like something that would like make or break, you know, me. So it's not like if I just didn't join the jam, I wouldn't care that much. It's more that it's like a month-long jam, and it's like it's a perfect opportunity to like do a jam with a community, have fun, and also like prototype another idea for a game. Because I'm in this phase where I'm trying to... Swords of Magic is just not going to be like... We can focus all we want on Swords of Magic and just like pump everything we have into it, and it makes enough money to cover our bills for like a month or two, which is great. And like, I guess we do that for 12 months, then that's like, you know, that's great. We've got enough money for another year. But I'd much rather like not spend 80 hours a week working on Swords of Magic just to make like ends meet. And so I've just decided that Swords of Magic is going to be a passion project and a hobby project that I work on whenever I have time for fun and not stress about it anymore. And so that means I have to now start taking game dev serious as a job again, like I was with Swords of Magic in the beginning. And that means a new project. So that's what I'm kind of doing, is just like prototyping out some ideas that I've had that I think could work well, that would like sell well. My goal is like $10,000 per project. Like if I can launch a game in like a few months and make $10,000, then I'm happy with that. At like, launch, within like a couple weeks of launch. Yeah, so that's, I'm aiming for smaller games that I can just like knock out. And if I find a game that like really like clicks with me, and you guys start like getting excited about it, and it like starts getting bigger, then I will consider going bigger, depending on what our resources are looking at, what our resources are looking like at the time. And then maybe we'll consider something like, a Kickstarter or something, a publisher maybe, or something. I don't know. Anyway, how much are you trying to make a month, or is it a monthly thing? How much am I trying to make a month? $5,000 a month would be ideal for Jana and I. We actually just talked about this. Like, we don't make that much, but we're making enough that like we're scraping by, and some months we make a little more, and then so that like gives us a little bit of cushion. But when we like really break it down and think about like how much money we really need to cover everything, and put a little bit in savings so we can start building up our savings again, which we used to have like a lot of money in our savings, and then Swords and Magic happened and we had to dip into it a lot. But yeah, so like start building that savings up again and be comfortable and not have to be like, oh my god, we can't spend money this month because we're really tight or whatever right now. That would be $5,000 a month. That would be like the ultimate goal. That said, we can scrape by on less than that. $1 million a month or no deal. Yeah, so if you can make $5K a month from game sales, then you're solid. That isn't too bad. Yes, exactly. So that's the goal. And the more games we release, we'll have that tail end, right? So if we launch a game and in in the first month we make $10,000, the next month we'll make like, a couple thousand, a few $1,000s probably, maybe $1,000. And like if we can launch a couple of games and get that tail, then like, yeah, those will eventually die off over time, but we can just like drop an update or put the game on sale or whatever, and then tail will spike back up and we'll make some money again. And if we have like 4 or 5 games on sale, we can eventually get to the point where we have kind of, not really passive, but like almost like a passive income behind us, and that gives us a little bit of buffer to make more games or bigger games or whatever. So yeah, I just found an inventory plugin that I'm really excited about that does like all of the really like major heavy stuff that I would need to do in like a big like survival crafting game or something that I'd want to make. And so I'm like looking at that, it's like $100, and I'm like, this is one of those things that like I would love to invest in this and then like make a bigger project with, but I don't want to dive into a big project right now because it's too much of an investment, too much time to make something and then like risk like not finishing it or feature creep or something happening and not making enough money, and then like it wasn't worth it. I do think any big project I take on will probably make good money. Like I don't think I'll like make like an absolute flop that just like launches and I make like $200. I don't think that's gonna happen. Big dono. What? Killax, what happened here? Soon a minute had to stake my claim on the leaderboards again. Oh my god. Well, that was nice of you. I'm like that. It has been a while. I appreciate that. That was really nice of you. Jeez. That helps. I noticed, saw you on the leaderboards. What happened there? What happened where? Yeah, me too, Ryu says. Yeah, right? You guys are too nice. Yeah, I'm currently making a small arcade style game for my first release and hopefully make a little tiny bit from a long tail. Yeah, that's the plan. Swords of Magic makes enough money from our long tail that like we're coasting. And if we do an update and we put the game on sale every time the sale comes around, we make enough to like pay the bills, and that's great. And I'm like, when I like think back to like working at like Walmart full time and like dreading going to bed at night because I knew I had to get up and go to work the next day and like especially when it was like near the end of my career, when it was getting real hairy, where I was working and like people were really like brazen about stealing right in front of me and like threatening my life and stuff. Like when I compare my life now, stressing about money, to stressing about like, am I gonna make it through the next day or am I gonna get stabbed? I'm very happy, and so that's why I'm not like complaining about Swords of Magic making not enough money now. And I've got to the point where I think a big part of me has always had it on my back of my mind that like all these players who play Swords of Magic are like depending on me to get the next update out as fast as possible so they can keep playing. And I've always felt so guilty about like not working hard enough or fast enough on Swords of Magic to get the next update out. And so I've kind of like finally like stood back. Jana made me take some time off like a month ago or so, because I had a bit of a mental breakdown, where I was like really stressed about some negative reviews, and some like someone in the Discord left because they didn't like the game after they put in like 60 hours in the game and then left a negative review, and like it was just like a really like gut-wrenching like week for me. And so I was really like kind of broke down, and I like stepped back and I realized like this is just a game, and like it doesn't matter if everyone loves it, and it's okay that I'm just making what I want to make and it's fun for me. And I want to get back to the point where like I'm making games because I love making games, and I'm not like churning every inch of my soul into this thing to make money. And so like that's kind of where I'm at. It's like I don't mind working hard to make money on another game, but I don't want that thing to be Swords of Magic anymore, because it's just too hard to get like to like squeeze a drop out of it, you know? I don't know, it's hard to explain. But yeah, it was kind of burnout, but it was also like a weird, it was beyond burnout for me. It was like a mental burnout from Swords and Magic, where I like didn't like it anymore. And so I don't want that to happen, and I want to keep working in Swords and Magic because I love doing it, and that's the only reason I want to do it, you know? Yeah, I could use $500. Couldn't we all, DD? Oh, that's funny. Amazon warehouse full-time over here. Yeah, I'm currently making, oh yeah. That's another thing, is like I could go get a job at like somewhere, like there's probably an Amazon warehouse actually really near me. I'm in near Seattle. So like I probably could go get like a full-time job somewhere, and I've considered it many times. But like since Jana and I were able to quit our jobs and do this full-time, I just feel like I have a skill set, and I have like the drive and the motivation to do this, to make money doing this, and I love doing it, and I don't want to like go back to that if I can avoid it. So like obviously if things start like getting really hairy and we're like, well, we're gonna lose our house, then I'm just gonna go get a job somewhere, you know? Oh my god. What are you doing? 8 gifted subs? You've gifted 25 now. Jeez, thank you so much. Sorry, the last jam link was not the one. What? The last jam link was not the one. What, Ben? I'm confused. That was the 2023 one. Oh, did I... Wait, oh, did you post a link? Did I miss it? Dan, that gifted missed me. It happens. Oh, are you kidding me? What are you doing? Right, we just have to one-up him by doing 10? Guys, seriously. Overdone. It's this one. Oh, thank you. Wait, that's the one I have, right? Yeah, I'm on that one. That's the one I have up. Oh, you were sharing. Thank you, Ben. I appreciate that. I see what's going on now. You shared the link a while ago. Here's a link. Let's beat Kindred. Yeah, go ahead. Please do. Honestly, like, yeah. I'm not trying to win the jam, by the way. Like, I will do my best to make the best game I can. But, like, for me, it's more about, like, using it as an opportunity to, like, prototype another game idea. To, like, try to find one that really, like, clicks. And like if this one clicks and we just like finish and we just decide to finish this game, then great, because I've already invested like 50-ish hours into this, and I feel like I'm at the point where it's like, yeah, I think another 50 hours would get us to like a really solid playable prototype, and then I can spend another 50 hours or so like polishing and like adding the content that it needs, and then we'll be solid. I really think this is a pretty viable game to launch. I don't know if it's gonna like blow up. I don't know if there's a market for this type of game. My Little Universe is kind of what I'm like basing it on. Like that's like my biggest inspiration for it, and you know, just like Swords and Magic in general. And that game has 700 and something reviews, like 750 or something. It's a $15 game, and it launched in October of last year. Well, Swords and Magic has about 700, about the same amount of reviews. is a more expensive game. It is 20, now it's $25. But we've also made most of our money on sales, so we probably made about the same amount of money as them. But our game has been out since 2020, so their game made about the same amount of money and the same amount of sales as ours did in like 6 or 9 months or so, and ours took 6 years to do it. That said, they also have a really big mobile audience because their game is pretty much a direct port from their mobile game, and so I'm sure a big part of their audience came from mobile, and so they are probably going to make a lot more money than us, right? Even if I made the exact same game, they'd still make more money. But I still think we have an audience, and since it's a spin-off, a lot of our audience is going to enjoy this game probably. So I do think we have a good chance to like make some money here. Anyway, no, I did it wrong, not you. Yeah, no, you're good. Tim still missed me. Big Back, I think maybe you're a bad guy, and so that's why you're not getting. It's karma. Let's see how it is. A good old-fashioned donation off. Wait, did I just? No. Okay, no. Okay, good. Good. Let's just stop there. That's good, guys. Thank you. Next time. Next month I can do that with you. This month I'm tapped. Ryu, that's enough. More than enough, guys. Thank you so much for the gifted subs. I really appreciate it. Sounds like I'll be taking the lead this month. 100% all you. This jam looks awesome. Gonna have to convince my friend who's new to game dev. Yeah, it looks like, oh my god. 15 more? You win. You definitely won. What is going on? You guys are crazy. Another miss. How is this even possible? We only have 35 people in here. How did you not get gifted a sub? Too late, Kindred already hit purchase. Thank you. Now I feel like I wasted my free Twitch Prime sub. That's funny. Sorry, Dee. I guess you'll have to waste next month. Use it on someone else, and then I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter. This is my first sub I've ever had. Really? Congrats. So much love in here today. I know, right? I've not gone yet. Oh, hates me today. Anyway, but yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to see where this project goes, and if it, again, so like with Dwarvenhold, we spent like, a week or so on it, got a prototype running, decided it wasn't quite like what I want it to be, and like I still think we could go back to that game eventually and probably knock it out and just like make it, maybe like ditch one of the lanes and make it smaller and simpler. I don't know. Probably could do it, and I'm still tempted to do it one day. But I just decided it was going to take too much time to make it what I wanted it to be, and it was going to require too much like feature creep and extra features to get to the point where it was going to be fun. And so I know I disappointed some of you guys who were like excited about it. So that's why this time around I'm just trying to just gonna do a quick prototype, see if it works, see if it's fun, and if it's fun, then I'll move on. We'll do something else. Why don't we make Dwarvenhold for the jam? That could be cool. Wait. You just gifted 6 months of tier 1 to Ben? Ben just got 6 months. Oh, thank you. You guys are too kind. Good, I appreciate it. You're awesome. Oh, Mr. Mossy, I'm sorry I missed your message in YouTube. If you're still here, have I animated water yet? I usually just use a material, and I usually just grab something from the marketplace because I'm really bad with materials. That's a big weak point for me in like 3D game dev. He didn't get a sub, wanted to share love. Bad Wolf's like, I'll remember this. How did you give a direct sub? Yeah, I think you can just click on the name. I think you can also search when you're doing subs. I think you can search for their name in, if I remember correctly, when you're on Twitch and you're like clicking like the sub button to like gift subs or whatever, you can like search for the name at the top and like choose a person directly to give it to him. It's been a while since I've done that. Anyway, now that we've got the engine back open again after like our third crash, let's go look at the code and see what the heck I've done wrong. Because clearly I'm doing something. Clearly something is broken here. I will say, I have to admit, I think UE5, like pretty much all versions so far I've used, is way less stable than 426 is. Because, granted, like, I'm working with Swords and Magic, which is like a super old, huge, crazy project that like has a lot of things wrong with it. But I've, and knock on wood, but like I've rarely run into issues where like there's just like weird bugs or like issues with the engine that I just can't like fix. But like yesterday I had like a function library and I was trying to like make a new category for the function I just made, and it kept renaming it to new enumerator 0. And I was like, why is it doing this? And I could not fix it. I restarted the engine twice. I made a new like function library and like started renaming all the functions in there, and I was like, okay, it's working now, so I'll just copy and paste everything over. And I tried that, and as soon as I pasted one of them over, it broke the whole thing again and did like called it new enumerator. And every time I changed it and I compiled, it would go back again. And I get like weird issues like that all the time with 5 that I don't run into with 4. So I really do think there's like some weirdness going on with 5 where it's just less stable. And part of me thinks it's because they churn through versions so fast. They just keep adding like bigger and crazier features, and I don't know why they're doing that. Maybe because they're trying to like pull over more Unity users or something. I don't know. Or maybe they're just like legitimately excited to add new features. I don't know. I just wish they would kind of like polish up and tighten up the engine a little more. There's also like this weird bug where is it? If I can get it to pop up. I get like a weird pop-up sometimes when I'm like hover over things. I don't know. I can't get it to pop up now. I've never like really noticed like where it comes from. But it's like a weird like text pop up, and then it just gets stuck on my screen all the time. And like I don't know how to get rid of it. Anyway. Okay, every time I hit like the plus up and down button, I crash the whole thing. Maybe because I'm trying to go to an active widget index that doesn't exist. That could be the problem. Anyway. 5.542 is stable. My code is jank. I'm actually joking. I had a crap ton of errors in 5.4. Yeah, I'm not saying my code's good, but oh, Ryu, thank you for gifting that to Wolf. It's like a Telltale game, level 8 hype train. Oh my god, the hype train thing is broken on my end. Everything is broken for me. It doesn't matter what I do, like every feature and everything I use in my life is broken for me right now. Because it's just a black screen and it's covering half the chat. Really fun. Anyway, but yeah, I don't know. I've had more crashes in UE5 in the last like week working on this than I have in Swords of Magic in like the last month, which is saying something because I do have crashes quite often in Swords of Magic. And when I crash in Swords of Magic, it takes like 10 minutes to get it started back up. So like, I'm very careful. Like in Swords of Magic, whenever I go to like a reroute node, if I go to delete a reroute node, the first thing I do is save everything, Control-Shift-S, and then I delete it, because if I don't, then it crashes. And I'm telling you, the saving has nothing to do with it. I think it's just karma, or it's just like, I'm just like unjinxing myself, because if I do it without saving, every single time it crashes. That's the only thing that like really crashes in Swords of Magic that's like consistently like an issue. Okay, we're getting rid of this. Anyway, so this is working until I click this button. Let's unhook this too, because I don't trust that that's working correctly right now. I guess we'll save everything again, and we'll test it again, and see if we crash again. Okay, so it moved widgets. When it creates, it's working correctly as expected. And then as soon as I click one of these buttons here, we crash, and it does not switch the widget. Also, I found this wrap integer, which I assumed meant returns value between A and B inclusive that wraps around. So I would assume that if I put like 2 in here and then the value becomes 3, it'll wrap back to 0. Or if it's -1, it'll wrap back to 2. As far as I can tell, this does not do that, and I do not understand what it's doing. Because it would have saved me all of this just to plug this in. But it doesn't seem to work. Switching from 4 to 5 was impossible for one of my games. That was very sad. Yeah, same. Swords Magic can't go to 5. This is a feature you have to turn off. Crashing? You got your sub and nothing? Oh, sorry, I was reading something I didn't see. I think he made a gravestone with my name on it, or I had a tree in there. What? Did you get an NPC named after you? In Swords and Magic? Ryu does not have anything in Swords and Magic, I don't think. He should, though. We'll have to make some, like, badass wizard or something later in the game called Ryuthmus. How'd you get rid of the reroute node without reconnecting the pins? Oh, so that's the same plugin. It's the same plugin, you can just shake it off. I'm a mortal man. I've been using Unreal for 10 years and I still get shocked by shortcuts. Yeah, no, it's not a shortcut. That's the plugin. You have to use the Node Graph Assistant plugin. But yeah, I run the same issue too, where like I always forget I can just hit B. Oh, hold B and click to do branch. So I always just right click and type if. And I'm like, oh yeah. I guess I could just literally hold B and click. One of my favorite shortcuts in UE5, like my favorite probably thing about UE5, is copy pasting from this, where you can hold shift and right click and it copies, and then you can shift left click to paste. It's so good. Like right click here, paste here. It's so good. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna click the button. Damn it, what is going on? I think I might delete those buttons and put them back in. I don't know what else could be causing it. Maybe I did duplicate this widget. This was duplicated from another widget. So maybe it's just something that's just broken. Maybe I just delete the buttons, add them back in. Like the code has to work. It works on the other one. You save me so much time. Install the error code so we can read why it's crashing. I mean, I can probably just open the crash log. I'm just too lazy to do that kind of stuff. I always forget where the crash logs are, and then I have to go through that whole process of like, oh yeah, where is the engine installed? I'm looking. No, that's not it. It's in here. Engine binaries? No. Saved. Nope, I don't have a crash log in here. Where is the crash log? Where is... Hurry up. I'm asking GPT where the crash logs are. Oh, right. Project folder. I thought it'd be in UE4. I don't know why. Or UE5. Okay, hang on. Crashes. Date. You watch. We're gonna open this. I always forget which one to open. Is it the report, crash report any? No. Log? This one. Oops. And I always forget if it goes from the, it goes from top to bottom, right? So the bottom has the crash. Is it error? Am I looking for error? Source control. I don't know why. Just heard squealing and then a pop. It was just, yeah, so. I tried to package yesterday, mostly just to make sure everything was working right, and I ran into this unknown struct error that I get all the time in UE4 with Swords of Magic. It's so frustrating. I don't know what I do wrong when I'm like building structs or like modifying structs that causes the error every single time, but you have to rename the whole struct, and it's just this whole process. Okay, I went through everything where it said error, and I didn't see anything that was like obvious. Failing to read file icon 128 PNG. That's not the problem, because I literally just went through them like 5 minutes ago. Unless when I crashed randomly, it like deleted one of my icons, but even then, like, it should just, that shouldn't be a problem. And these are also looking for through plastic, and I don't know why. It could be this. It could be an issue with a struct, but I don't think so. I don't think we're even we are using a struct for this. Can you walk me through the struct fix? Is there a struct fix, like you modified your struct? Is there like a process that you do when you guys modify your structs that like fixes it? Because I swear we have tried everything and we thought we had a solution, and it still causes issues when we package. Are you ever going to sell some of your models, characters, props? I sell some assets on the marketplace that are not Swords of Magic related. Maybe I've considered selling the Swords of Magic assets. The problem is like setting up a whole project to like put all that stuff in, and like setting up materials and stuff would be a nightmare. And I don't know if it'd be worth doing, especially because it's not exactly performant, because we use material slots, which is just not exactly the best way to do it. But if you go to the marketplace, I do have a store on there, and I'm selling a handful of assets on there, but they're a different style than Swords of Magic. I will show you. They're right here. So this is a character asset. It comes with some props, and it comes with this packaging in case you want to do that, because I thought it was just a fun way to like sell it. But yeah, that's that. And then if you go back to my page here, I will link it. Hopefully that takes you there. I have a couple of sets. So I have two different like play sets sort of for them, or like environment sets, and I have a male and female character with they're like modular. So this is just a bunch of pieces to build like a neighborhood. I actually have a whole nother like set of like a bunch of extra stuff for this, like trash cans and like lawnmowers and like curbs and like a whole bunch of stuff that I need to like set up as an additional set for this. I just haven't got around to yet. No Unity. Oh, actually, well, if you go to itch.io, hold on, what's it called? Is it Kindred? Yeah. I have the Halloween setup on here. That's it though. I should put more on here though. But you can like, if you buy the stuff on Unreal, I mean, it's annoying, just the same way as you did for Unity. But if you buy the stuff on the Unreal Marketplace and open up like an empty project and import the assets in, you can export them out as FBXs and then just bring them into Unity if you wanted. Or you can buy this here for $6 and get all these assets, and then they're just like FBX files with a single texture that you can just slap on them. But you have to set up the material yourself, or the shader yourself, I guess, in Unity. But yeah, so there's this one available, but that's all I have available on Itch. I meant to put more up on Itch, but I've only sold one copy of that in like the last 6 months, and I was like, I guess maybe if I had like 100 things on there, it might be more useful, but like I might get more sales, but I don't have a lot of stuff on there, so. not really worth the effort to put them up on itch. But I would gladly like send you. Oh, also I do. Oh, I don't want to promote that. Never mind. But I also do. I could send you like assets if you wanted to buy my packs. You could just send me send me a message on Discord and we can set it up. And I can just send you the like actual files because I have them all like organized nice. So you can just get the FBX files and the texture for them if you're interested in doing that. Put characters up definitely wouldn't make sales. Yeah, the characters might make sales on there. It's just the problem with them is that they use the Unreal mannequin. And so they use the Unreal Mannequin's animations, and so I don't have them animated. So I could sell the characters, but they don't have animations with them, and so I don't know if people would want them since they're not animated out of the box, unless you use Unreal Engine, in which case you can just use Unreal animations. And I don't know if Unity does like animation like retargeting. You can just like drop animations from another pack onto a character. I'm not sure if you can do that. Before it can compile. Wait, hold on. Oh, sorry, Ray, I got distracted. 100% there's a fix before it can compile. Wait, how did you get the game developer tag on your name? Where? Who has game developer tag on their name? If you or your org owns a game category on Twitch, you can claim it. Oh, what? Yeah, I don't have that either. How do you do that? Prestige. There's the Adobe website that will. Oh yeah, Mixmo's great. Yeah. So, yeah. So my character had like I could do that, and then I could sell it and just be like, yeah, use Mixmo animations for this, and you can just upload the character to Mixmo and get your own animations. But I can't personally sell the animations with it. Like that would definitely be against the terms of service. So I'd have to So you'd have to do it yourself. But like yeah, I could put characters up and you guys could download your own animations through Mixmo. Twitch chat badges guide, user type chat badges. Hey Ryu, how do you feel about me once we're established a little more, how do you feel about me streaming development on your game? I wouldn't at the beginning just because I don't know my way around the project yet or anything, or like really like my groove yet, but like once, you know, maybe a month or two in, like once I've got my feet wet a little bit, I think it'll be fun to stream it. If you'd be okay with that, obviously. Stream it 100%, cool. Where should I send such requests on your Discord? Yeah, you can just send me a message on Discord if you want. I would love to sell you the assets. I have a bunch of stuff. I would, yeah, we could definitely make a deal. I have a whole. I'll open it. I want to because I'll open it just so you can see. I have. Is it this one? I think it's this one. Well, I have a ton of assets on here that I've made that I'm not selling yet. I tried to get this kit set up to sell, but it wasn't enough assets since they denied me. So now I'm like, well, either I have to go in and add more stuff to this kit, or I just sell the whole thing together. Because I have like hundreds of, maybe not hundreds, but it's like a lot of assets ready to sell. It's just a pain in the butt to like set them up. Okay, so it says yeah, it's an opt-in feature, but how do you opt into it? I don't see any instructions on how to opt in. Oh, we're comparing or compiling shaders. Here you go. These are all the assets I have ready to go to like sell. And there's extras too, like this one right here with like the tavern stuff. Would also have all these tables and stuff with it. But I have all of these assets ready to go to sell. So if you're interested in this pack, you'll be the only person that has this. But I'd gladly sell you these ones too. And then I have all these for the neighborhood one I need to add in. So yeah, these ones are all fantasy, obviously, like medieval fantasy, because I was trying to like do a whole set for those. And then these are more modern stuff. And I've got some random game pieces and comic books. And then some snow ones I did for January for the Patreon. Oh yeah, and our camera is like totally lost. I'm just done. The camera is just done when I'm doing this. Really need to fix our stupid camera. Anyway, so yeah, I have a bunch of assets ready to go. I just have not sold them yet. I want to close that. Sorry, camera rave. Yeah, so when I don't know why this is happening. I still need to fix it. But every time my computer starts using too many resources, my camera decides to just squash. I do not understand what's going on with it. Sometimes it just flickers, and sometimes if it's just too much, it just gives up and it just completely just squashes. I do not know, and I need to look into it more to fix it. You have to set up an organization on Twitch. You click the thing and then do the things. I got it set up. Took me a few minutes. I have a company on Twitch for the channel though, for my old game. Interesting. I assume I should be able to do it, and if not, I can set up an organization. I had a team set up for Kindred Games team. But I do not have, yeah, I think I have 3 different things set up as applications in here. But yeah, I just wonder, like, where do you go to opt in to the badge? Or is it just like on your Twitch? Is it just like you just click your thing and you can just pick that badge? I don't know, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Honestly, I am really over Twitch lately. Like, mostly just because they're stupid ads. I'm just like, I'm really over the aggressive ads that they're doing. It's very frustrating to me as a streamer. You can't right now. Twitch's people who did that all got terminated. What? Can't do what? On the dev page, you click the dashboard and click enable. It's a button on the upper right. On the dev page, manage organizations maybe. Got it. I found it. Cool, thank you. They have it buried pretty deep. Cool. Thanks, Ryu. Anyway, so we have a fun bug to fix here. It's really fun. I'd like to get this fixed, and then it's 4 o'clock, so it's like already almost dinner time. So I guess I've missed lunch today. I guess I could, I don't know, it's fine. We'll have an early dinner probably. So yeah, I think the plan here is we just get rid of these buttons because they're obviously broken. What if I deleted these and then added them back in? I'm also nervous about this tool carousel because I did rename it and maybe it just didn't like that. I don't know. I do not know what is causing the crash, and the crash log didn't seem to give us any information. What if we do on released and we do a print string? That's the left button. Right button.
Listen.
Let's see if that works or if that crashes too. If that crashes too, then we know it has nothing to do with the widget. Okay, that's working. So now let's put it back in. Let's put the on clicked back in. Shouldn't have removed that. We're just gonna test like one little thing at a time and see where the crash occurs to know, like, to narrow it down. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so maybe the issue is with this, or maybe the issue is with those and we already fixed it. So next step, let's just do our, I want to try, let's just do this. Let's do get Let's see if just accessing the thing causes problems. Okay, that's working right. That's why I don't understand. I'm tempted to plug it back in and see if it works again. It shouldn't be doing anything weird. The only thing I can think is like if it's setting it to an index that it doesn't have, then it's causing a problem. And we should be able to like detach this. Zero, one, -1. Okay, we're getting 0, -1 again. I bet if we plug this back in, and we try it again, it's gonna crash. There is something very broken with this, and I do not understand what it is. There's got to be something like, this is not an issue with the code. Okay, well, hold on. We have a crash report here. Let's see what this says. Array index out of bounds. Okay. Okay, now I feel stupid. Because if I would read that the first time, I would have known exactly what the problem was. So this is a problem with my code, but it's weird because I have the exact same code, like literally I duplicated it for this one. Look, these buttons, exact same code as this one, and these buttons. Okay, it doesn't look the exact same anymore because I moved things around, but it's the exact same code. The only difference is this print string right here. Literally the exact same thing. And it's calculating the children count. Let's just do a clamp here. Between 0 and the children count. Does that make sense, the children count though? If there's 3 children, we need to do -1, right? Yeah. Because I'm adding 3 children, but the index would be 2. So 0 and so this should make it so we can never go beyond how many we're supposed to have. So we should never crash again, right? Oh shit, I just did that on the refinery interface, not the upgrade one. That's fine though. This should be the exact same. Sorry I missed YouTube chat. Are you ever going to sell your models? We talked about that. Wait, did we talk about that? Did you come from YouTube over to Twitch because I was ignoring you? Probably. Don't feel bad about missing lunch. I ain't even had breakfast yet. Dinner smelling yummy? Oh, I bet it is. Maybe make it crash again and have a look at the crash report client. It'll say where it crashed. Yeah, I did. Oh, the crash report client. Yeah, I could look at that, I guess. Are you not able to afford it now? Oh. Probably not. Don't close the crash report. Thank you, Ryo. I don't know why I did that the last time. Sometimes it just random crashes and I'm just like, whatever, and I just click through it and move on. I don't know why I do that sometimes out of habit, especially when I'm distracted and not paying attention. What's up, Wendy? Sorry, I'm really behind the chat, I guess. Eating pulled pork in the slow cooker for sandwiches later. No, we don't make our own sauce. We just use like a bottle of barbecue sauce. We should make our own sauce though. Whenever when we discovered how to make like Alfredo sauce and stuff like that from scratch, oh my god, that like leveled up our cooking in our house. And now we make almost all of our like sauces like that from scratch. So we should definitely try to make some barbecue sauce. Making burgers and dogs for a classic 4th of July. Yeah, we're gonna do corn on the cob, and we should probably do some cornbread. That'd be good too. Get all the corn we can, you know. What I'm talking about, gotta have sauce. You're creating a loop. Jank code. What are you talking about? I'm not creating a loop. There's no loop going on. Aren't you missing the greater than less than, which would cause an oob crash? An oob crash? An out of bounds crash? I'm not. Greater than less than right is right here. Am I crazy? Have I lost my mind trying to do this? On YouTube, I missed a message. Dylan says, "Hey, fellow Unreal dev, just wanted to say I love your work and have been following the game for a few years now. Keep it up. I know how hard making games can be." Thanks, Dylan. I appreciate that. Kind words. Good luck with your projects as well. I just caught up on this stream. You making a spin-off? Yep. Alarion RPG or Riot. That's all I'm saying. Oh man, I would love to make an Alarion RPG. I've always wanted to do like a RuneScape-esque kind of like game, you know, with like, it's just like skill grinding or whatever, like really focused on like skill leveling. And that Alarion would be the perfect place to do that. That'd be really fun. Like a top-down like Alarion RPG. Anyway, yes, I'll make cornbread. Yeah. Once I got into the sauce game, like it's a game changer. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, Jan and I were kind of like, we didn't really like cooking very much. And then we did HelloFresh, and there was something about like reading through recipes and like learning how like simple it was to do some of those things where it was just like, we could just do this ourselves. Like we just needed to like the knowledge. So we stopped doing HelloFresh and just started making our own food, which was, I would say, not as good. Like the food was just as good. The problem was that we didn't have all the groceries that we needed right then. And so every time we were like, we should cook this, and we had to go to the store to get all the stuff. And that's where HelloFresh really comes in handy. But yeah, that was the big issue. And so yeah, usually if we don't have groceries, then it turns into just another lazy, like we'll just throw something together for dinner. Okay, this is the refinery one. That's the thing, like the refinery is working just fine. I'm adding, it's all the same thing. I think this, what? No, this one. This right here was breaking us because I was setting it up to the last index and then breaking it. But like that clamp should fix it. If this breaks this time, we're gonna rewrite this code. I'm gonna delete it and rewrite it. Even though look, watch, it works just fine for this. There's trees literally everywhere, and I go all the way back to the beginning. Okay, watch. Yoink, this is working perfectly and it's the exact same code. It's looping through the inventory and adding all of everything that can be refined. So wood, and ore, adding in here. And it works just fine. This is working perfect. It gets a little weird. I don't know why it was, because I was clicking too fast for it to like catch up. So I need to do like a lock there so you can't go that fast. Regardless, this is working just fine. I come over here with the exact same code. You just saw it, like the exact same code. And it doesn't work. Do you know why it's not working? Because this thing is broken. I'm telling you, it's not me. It's not my code. It's something else stupid happening. We're looping through an array of 3 things. This is by default. Axe, pick, and sword. For each one, we're creating a widget and we're adding a child to the tool carousel. That's it. It's so simple. It's all we're doing. We're just creating this widget and adding a child. And if I print here, the name of this thing, this child that has been added, this is the panel that's been added. So if it doesn't exist, if it's not getting added for some reason, then it will not print this. It won't find it. When I walk over it, boom, right here in the top corner, panel slot 0, 1, 2. You guys see it? My screen's frozen, so I don't know if you can see it. So that means it's made 3 of them and added them all to this thing, right? But now when I click through this, nothing is happening because we're clamped at 0. Because it's finding... That's the refinery. We're closing the refinery. This is the upgrade one. Not touching that yet. Print. I want to print what this number is at. We'll do 2 of them. And then you know what? We'll wait actually. We'll wait. We're gonna do this. We're gonna test this. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. I go back. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Why is it not finding the next thing? So now let's print the children count. I know it's ugly. Don't worry about it. Okay, I push the button. 0. It's finding 0 children. Do you see the problem? You see the problem we're running into here? This is not me. This is something is corrupt. Something is broken. This is like the 3rd time I've had something like this happen with this project. This is why I keep saying like UE5, not stable. It's very frustrating. Why is it clamping at int 0? Why is it clamping int at 0 and 0? Sorry, wait, did I do something stupid? Oh, it might have been. I just probably didn't hook this up. I probably just hadn't plugged this in yet. But the same logic is working just fine, no problem with the other refinery. With the refinery, it's working. With the upgrade, it's not working. And it's because it's adding children, but then it's not finding children. It's like it's acting like this tool carousel like variable is like not correct. What if we print this? I want to print like the name of this here when I push the button, and I want to print it here when it gets populated. I want to see if it's like somehow getting a separate one or something. It's just called tool carousel. It doesn't matter. Oh, left. Look. Oh no, it's the same thing. Just kidding. I thought I said 1 at the end. I'm just blind. I just have bad eyesight. I don't get it. It's creating 3 widgets, it's adding them all to the carousel, and then when I go check the carousel, it's saying that the children count is 0. So what's going on? Is the carousel just broken? Do I need to just delete it and remake it? Because obviously something is wrong here. Keysync greater than equal to? We'll post pictures, food. I'll make your generic MMO quests. Hello, adventure. Go kill 5 goblins. I feel like I could probably handle the generic MMO quests. That'll be $11, please. I would love to make an MMO. I actually had this crazy idea because I don't want to deal with the server infrastructure of an MMO. That's the part that's like way beyond my scope. Like writing the multiplayer code for an MMO, pretty much I can handle. I think like as far as the gameplay stuff goes, because I'm doing this in multiplayer and yeah, I've had a couple of hiccups, but nothing crazy. But I think like the actual like the whole like server side architecture and stuff, that would be like way out of my league. But I had this crazy idea that is so jank and so crazy that it might work. The idea is a player joins starts the game, they click play, and they join the world and they host, right? Then another player comes in and they say, oh, let's play this game, and they play the game and they join on the host. Right? So that player is hosting. Yes, there's a lot of issues here where like, yeah, we shouldn't be doing this because like, you know, security reasons, and also like issues where like we could easily cheat the game or whatever. Get that. It'd have to be very casual. Anyway, now let's say the host leaves. There's a plugin for Unreal where they can migrate the host to the next best person to host or whatever. It like auto calculates it and then just migrates the host to them. I don't know if that interrupts gameplay in any way. I don't know if it like, I don't know how that works. Maybe there's like a stutter or something. I don't know. I haven't like looked into it a whole lot. Let's just assume that there's like, it's flawless. Then that host migrates and then someone else comes in and they're like, oh, now I'm in this host, right? And so everyone plays together and it's like an MMO sort of, except the one player is always hosting. You'd have to set up a system where it's like, oh, there's too many players in this thing, so you have to start a new host. Like you have to like, there's already 10 players, whatever, so let's start a new one. So it'd be like a cheap, fake MMO. It's probably been done a million times. There's probably good reasons why you shouldn't do it, but it's an idea. Okay, moving on. We did HelloFresh for longer than 2 months, didn't we? Oh, I guess maybe not. It was a few months. Okay, I'm really behind chat. I have zero clue. I wish I could help more. Grounded does something like this, but with the 4 players. I thought Grounded works just like Swords of Magic did, where you just join on like other players. You like it, Maz? If Maz likes it, that's a good sign. I thought, if anything, I would assume Maz to be like, that's a terrible idea. You should not do that. That's such a janky way to do it. Server meshing, but players are the servers. Is that what that is? I don't know. I thought it'd be cool for like a very casual like story, maybe not story, but like, I don't know. There's a game called, hold on, what's it called? It used to be on my wish list, but I took it off because I realized I was probably never gonna buy it because I watched someone play it and it just wasn't like, it wasn't engaging enough for me. Now I can't think what it's called. Damn it. It's a super casual MMO, and like no one plays it. There's no okay, there is combat. Not amongst players though, but you like mostly want to avoid combat. And there are other players, but there's no chat. And when you find another player, you can like communicate them with like emotes or something. And the players are really hard to like find. They're pretty few and far between. But it like is a very, very casual like MMO experience, and it's very much like story driven. Like you're just kind of like like talking to people and learning about them and stuff and helping them and doing favors and stuff. It's super chill. Book of Travels. It's called Book of Travels. Look it up. It's really cool. It's like got a really cool, here I'll show you a screenshot of it actually. I thought this would be like a perfect instance to use that sort of server meshing, I guess. Because this is like what the game looks like. Hold on. The game is, hang on. Sorry, had to sneeze. The game is gorgeous. It's right here. Oh, sorry, we're zoomed in. Looks like this, and like these are the characters, and you're like walking one of these characters around. I'm assuming like one of these is your characters. I don't know, but it looks like this. It's like freaking gorgeous, but like it's super chill, and it's like this weird like pulled back like 2D or like 3D, but it has like this weird perspective. It looks really cool. Yeah, it's called Book of Travels. And you just like wander around. The camera like stays at this angle like almost all the time. Like you're never really like up close and personal, which is cool. And like, but it is an MMO, and like it's online. It has, I think, mixed reviews just because like I think the game's boring. I think that's like the biggest issue with it, is just like it takes a long time to go anywhere and do anything, and then there's like not a lot of action. So I think a lot of players in 2024 are just kind of like snooze fest, you know, and click off. But it's like a really cool like work of art kind of game. But anyway, I think like a game like that where it's like pretty chill or really relaxed, where you have like that server meshing thing where you can just like hop in and out of the game and like someone else just like is hosting at all times, would be really fun. I'd love to set that up and try that. That'd be a really fun like Twitch game to like test, except I don't know how you would like distribute it to everyone. Not a Twitch game, but like it'd be a fun game to develop on stream so everyone can be playing it and testing it, but distribution would be hard. Lovely, agreed. Isn't that what COD used to do? Yes, I'm pretty sure COD used to do that a long time ago, when one player would like quit the game, then someone else would like transfer host, and I remember it popping up and saying like transferring host, because it would pause the game, because it's a shooter, right? Like you don't want like weird lag spikes where like everyone's like stuck in place without knowing what's going on. That would look really bad. So I remember that being a case, and I think that's where I like learned about like server migration or like host migration. But I think today, with like more modern internet, it would be better, and you wouldn't have to like pop up and pause the game for everyone. And I think you could just like do it, and there'd probably be a hiccup where it was like switching servers or switching host. But I don't think it'd be so crazy that you'd like really notice it, unless there was some major combat in the game or something. But anyway, Michael, whatever happened to that game where you played as a cleric killing your party members? Oh, you know what? I actually just opened that the other day to like look at it again. I still have it. I just never finished it. That was a game jam game I was trying to do. It's called Mender's Quest. I've still considered that one. I'd still like to do that. There's definitely some jank for switching a host, especially if the host region is different. Oh, for sure. Yeah, I definitely don't think it would be like an ideal situation, but it would be a cool way to like build an MMO without having to deal with server architecture. But there'd definitely be some drawbacks. Yeah, so I would like to still make that game. I've actually considered switching, like merging Dwarvenhold and that game together, because you were dwarves in that game too, and just calling it like I considered calling it like the healer of Dwarvenhold or something, and then you just play a healer and it's like a roguelike, but you're a healer. And I still love the idea of that game. And that game is still like good. Like what I had so far in that game is still good. I played it the other day and it was relatively fun, and it'd be really fun if you're like every like floor of the dungeon you're like gaining new like healing skills and leveling them up and stuff like that. As a roguelike, I think that'd be really fun. And then like unlocking new playstyles and stuff. Dwarven healer. Yeah, I still like the idea of that a lot. So I'm definitely not opposed to going back and like trying that or merging those two games together. Dwarven hold, more like Dwarven healed. There is no game where you primary as a healer. I know, that's why I think it'd be awesome. There should be. Except this one. There actually is. There's one called, I think it's called Healer on Steam. And it's like basically the exact same game. I think it's called Little Healer maybe? Mini Healer. And there's Healer's Quest. These two games. These are the only two that I know of. It looks like this might be similar. So Healer's Quest I think is better.
When evil forces awaken in the darkness, the world needs.
I don't know if I want to watch this trailer though.
But sometimes
not a huge fan of the art style. So yeah, and then you have like 4 abilities. It's very, I don't know, it's pretty simple. It's definitely not quite what we're looking at doing. And then I own Mini Healer, I think. Yeah, I have this game. This one's very much like an MMO simulator. It looks better. I think it looks better. But it's very much just like click button, wait for cooldown, watch mana, click button, wait for cooldown, watch mana. Like, I don't know. It was really hard. That was my issue with it. It has mixed reviews. Oh, recent reviews are mixed. 93% is pretty good. It's got more reviews than Swords of Magic does, so it did better than Swords of Magic. I don't know, man. It's like every single game I look at and I'm like, this game's pretty simple. It's like blown Swords of Magic out of the water as far as like sales. I mean, it's only an $8 game, so it hasn't made as much money as Swords of Magic, but close. I don't know. Yeah, this one's pretty good. I would like to do this, but where you actually run around a dungeon and like play like a dungeon crawler where you're the healer. Anyway. I would 100% say making a healing game would be cool as hell. Yeah. I mean, I have like, I would, this is going to sound terrible, but I actually would probably want to switch to gas for it. Because I'm using a full blueprint like ability system for it, and it's probably not ideal. But maybe it wouldn't be the big of a deal, because you probably only have like, what, like maybe 20 or 30 abilities tops. And that was like with feature creep ideas like, oh, you beat the whole game, so now you unlock the necromancer, or not like necromancer, but like maybe like the dark priest class. And then you beat the game and you unlock the druid class. And then you beat the game and you unlock like the shaman class, whatever. And you have like all these different classes, like different styles of healing. Still like maybe like 30 abilities, maybe 60 like tops with like a bunch of feature creep. It's niche enough that if the art is right and the gameplay is fun for management. Yeah, I love the idea. I have like a prototype built and it's fun. It's mostly fun. Kill the undead to make them undead. That would be a really cool feature too. If there were like some enemies that were undead and so it was your responsibility to heal them to kill them, that would be a really fun way to like keep you on your toes and like shake up the gameplay a little bit. Comparison is the thief of joy. What's the thief of joy? Wait, what? Oh, comparison is, I got it. Nope, I got what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Yeah, you're probably right. You just creeped out 1 year of game. You just creeped out 1 year of gameplay. Yeah. Anyway, I'm of the opinion that there's something broken with our tool carousel and I need to delete it and re-add it back in. Which is very frustrating. I'm almost tempted just like to rewrite, like remake this whole widget to make sure there's nothing like corrupt or broken in it, because clearly there is. And I guess I need to stop duplicating widgets and like modifying them, even though it saves me a ton of time. Because obviously that's leading to bad things. Is there like... Hold on. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I actually have code somewhere that's like actually removing... Not here anywhere. Not there. Not there. Not there. It's just a widget focus for Common UI. Add child. That's where it's supposed to be adding. Yep. I give up. I give up on life. I give up on game dev. I don't know. It's fixed. I know what I did wrong. Prestige, what did you saw something that I missed? I think we're working on the in stuff part. Don't know if it's intentional, but one of your select nodes has true not set. Let's see. So this is stupid. I don't know what I was thinking. This is removing the tool carousel. Why did I do that? I need to not... I'm so dumb. I can't believe I did that. I need to clear the children of the upgrade panel, not this. The require this thing. This need to have its children cleared. Not the tool carousel, which explains why that broke and why explained why it was crashing, because I was removing all the children and then trying to set it to a child that it was already set to. That was so stupid. My god, okay. So this is not working because I'm setting this up by default and it's obviously not what we want. Stupid. So dumb. Sorry guys. I feel really stupid because I sat and blamed the engine over and over and over again. And that was really dumb of me to not like fully look at my code. I think if I weren't streaming, I probably would have caught that a lot sooner because I would have been for like focused more. But you know, streaming, I get really distracted and so I forget what I'm doing and then I forget to check other certain things. Anyway, you were saying, what am I select? Yeah, true should be 0. This is basically what this is doing is it's saying, hey, increase the active widget index to go to the next thing, like slide the next thing over. But if you try to increase it beyond that, then go back to 0 instead. So that's why true is 0 on this one, but true is the last index on this one. This one's going left, so if it's less than 0, then I want to set it back to the last index, and if it's greater than the last index, then I set it back to 0. This seems like I could do this with far fewer nodes if I just used this wrap node. And maybe my brain just didn't like comprehend how this was working the other day when I did this, because it seems like I should just be able to put 0 and then the child count -1 as max, and this should just work. And the value would just be the active index plus or -1, right? And then on this, yeah. And this seems like that would make perfect sense, right? Like the minimum is 0 and the maximum is the last child index. And then as I go through, if I hit less than 0, it should just loop back to the top. But if I remember correctly, I tried this and it was very weird and was not working as expected. So it's going, yeah, so this is not working. It's only showing 2 of the children. Yeah. Because the children count would be, there's 0, 1, 2, so there'd be 3 children, so -1 gives the last index, so that would be 0, 1, and 2, so it would give me 2. And then the active index -1 would be what I'm trying to get to, so the active index would start at 0, -1 would be -1, well that would loop back down to 2, so it should go back to 2. And if I do -1 from there, I'm at 2, -1 would be 1, go to 1, that lets me stay within the loop, so I should be good. And then -1 again would be 0, so this should be working, but it doesn't work. And maybe I'm just not understanding how this works. Maybe I need to do more tests on like how this works, but it doesn't work for how I want it to work. So I have to do this stupid setup. Anyway. Is that he's going back to the cleric game? What? Or, oh, I see. Yeah, no, I found the issue after I made a bunch of excuses and I felt stupid, so I had to walk away for a second. I think working on stuff. All right, this is his resource swords magic game. Yeah, so boss, this is a spin-off of Swords of Magic, and it's just a prototype right now to see if it's gonna be fun. And if it's not fun, then I'll just move on. What Blueprint plugins are you using for UI and quality of life? Let me show you all the plugins I'm using currently. Plugins installed. I was using this Did It Hit, which I liked, but in multiplayer it caused big problems for me because it would not trace on the clients. I can't remember why. There was some reasons. So I scrapped this and ended up doing my own hit thing. But I tried this, and this is a pretty cool little plugin that like kind of saves you some time. It's a little faster to set up than like doing your own traces, but honestly, I don't think it's worth it. In electronic nodes, I added this because I was playing with it. I saw someone else using it the other day or using something similar, and I thought that was it, so I was playing with it, but it's not it. So I'm not using that. Gas Companion. This, if you're making like an RPG or something with combat or something with stats or something with like attributes or status effects, and you're not using gas, or if you're using Blueprint and you want to use gas, this is like my favorite plugin of all time right now. Gas Companion makes it so freaking easy. You don't have to touch a line of C++. It's so good. This is so good, and it exposes a ton of stuff to Blueprint for you. It's really good. It's like $25, probably the best $25 I've spent next to the Node Graphics Assistant. So I highly recommend this if you are making a game with like combat that requires like a burn effect or a poison effect or literally just like anything you want to do with that like gas would handle. This is so good, but you do have to learn gas on top of it, which is a lot. And I've been working in gas for a few years now with Swords Magic, and I feel like I've only scratched the surface of what gas can actually do. And when I started playing with this, I realized so much, we were missing so much in Swords Magic that we could be doing. There's just like a whole nother layer on top of what we're doing in Swords Magic that would be better suited for gas that we're not doing. And we're doing a lot of things I think wrong, like to a certain extent, like could have been handled differently. But it's a little late now, so we're just kind of like slapping stuff together in there. But anyway, Gas Companion is great. And then I'm using that, and I actually have like all the stuff set up as like abilities, like chopping and stuff is like abilities. And I probably don't need that for this project, but I really just wanted to try this because I just bought it, and this was supposed to be like for different, whatever. Anyway, but I'm using it. Node Graphics Assistant is my biggest quality of life one. That's probably like the biggest one that I use. That's like just makes blueprinting easier. And then pivot tool is handy. This was handy because a lot of my older models in Swords of Magic are the wrong size, the wrong rotation. Yeah, and that's about it. And sometimes the pivot's in the wrong spot. So the pivot tool is really cool. You can drag like a static mesh in. Like this guy, for example, right? And let's just say like he's too big or something, or maybe his pivot point's in the wrong place. You can just pull up in the pivot tool, which is this, which I don't remember how you open it. I think it's in like Windows or something. Yeah, right there. And then I just have it docked in here because I use it sometimes. And then you can modify, like, you can like click these buttons and it shows you like where the pivot's going to be, which is really cool. So you can like visualize where you're going to change your pivot to. And then if you don't like it there, you like want to say center it, but you want it like lower, then you can just add like an offset, and then you click the button to offset and it'll move it down that much. And then when you're ready, you can bake it. You can choose debake, which means it duplicates the asset and then bakes the new pivot point in that new duplicate asset. And then you can do, sorry, you can do a regular bake, and you can do like keep in place. So like, let's say you have like a bunch of like, maybe like docks or something like on water, and the pivot is like in the center, but you want it to be at the end of the dock so you can like rotate it around easier. And then, but like you already have a bunch of things placed, then you can move the pivot point, keep it in place, bake it. It'll bake the pivot point there, but it'll adjust all of your things so it doesn't snap them over. So like keep them where they're supposed to be, which is really cool. It doesn't always work. It does get a little buggy, and sometimes it doesn't work. And then you can also bake rotation and scale. So like if I have an asset, I'm like, this is just the wrong rotation, I can rotate it. We'll do 90 so it's easier to fix. I can rotate it 90, and then like I bake it with freeze rotation like that. And then when I drag this in, it's the right rotation. And then if I rotate this one back and I bake it, it snaps them all back. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's just an easy way to like quickly fix a rotation issue. And then scale too. So like I dragged it, I had an like this one. Oh, this one. I had one of these and it was like scaled down like really, really small because I screwed up all my rotations and stuff when I first started Swords of Magic. And so I scaled it up the exact amount that I knew I had to scale it up to like match or whatever, and then just baked it, and then now it's all good. So that one's really useful. And obviously moving pivot points. You can move pivot points with Unreal Engine modeling tools now, I think, but I don't think it's a permanent fix. It's just like for that one asset. What other plugins do I use? In this tool, I have Quest Editor because I think I got this for free a long time ago or something, and I've never used it. And I thought I was going to be building quests in here, and I just haven't decided if I am yet. So I have it, but I'm not using it. But it might be useful for like tutorials, or it might be useful for like having like overarching quests. Like you get to a town and it's like, here's a quest in this area, and you can do that. Yo, you know what would be really cool in this project? And that's all I'm using in this one. That's pretty much all I'm using here. Swords of Magic has like 5 or 6 more that we're using, maybe even 10 more. I don't remember, but that's it for like quality of life. There's probably a lot of other plugins that I have that I should be using or would like to be using, but I just haven't set them up. I also use like the Twitch plugin a lot, and then my dialogue plugin I use a lot, but I'm not in this project because I don't know if I'm gonna have dialogue yet, but I might add it in later. Anyway, here's a cool idea for a quest. Hold on. Gas is lit AF. Agreed. Guess you could say it's pretty gas. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad that gas is taken off as like, that's a cool thing. Like, oh man, I'm gassed about this thing. Because when gas first started, it was not like that. And so everyone was just like, why would you name your thing gas? That's so stupid. Because it stands for Gameplay Ability System, but it's for short, it's gas. And I always thought like, that's so stupid because when people talk about gas, it's talking about like, you know, passing gas. And so I thought that was just like the dumbest name. But now it's like, at least like slang is kind of caught up, and it's like, that's a cool thing. Or at least gasoline. I don't know. I guess it's better. So is that just an extension to use in the viewport versus doing the static mesh viewer? No, I don't know if you can change pivots and stuff in the static mesh viewer. I don't think that's a thing you can do. Maybe it is. So in UE4, you used to be able to go into like general settings or somewhere, and there was like a scale setting, like a build scale thing, and you could change the scale and then bake that, and it would work. But you can't do that in UE5 anymore, as far as I can tell. I tried looking for it and couldn't find it. So I think that's been removed. And you can do import rotation. I think there's like a rotation. There's build scale. Never mind. Build scale is in here. I don't know. There's also, I believe, an import rotation. Maybe that's what's been removed. Yeah, there's no more import rotation. That's what happened. So when you actually import the mesh, like if I just go here and like import a mesh, it'll ask me if I want to rotate this, if there's like a rotation I want to do onto it, like an addition, like if I want to import it and also rotate it 90 degrees, whatever. But I can't do that from the static mesh thing anymore. So the pivot tool makes that really easy to be able to do that. But yeah, you can't really do anything else other than just like change your pivots, change your size, rotation. That's about it. Import rotation is in the import settings. I don't think so. I just type in ROT for rotation and there's nothing in here. Is there another like import setting somewhere else that I'm missing? In UE4 it was right here. I would just search for rotate or ROT and it would come right up and say import rotation, and I would change the rotation and then click re-import and it would rotate it. But that's also a problem in a lot of times in Swords and Magic. I don't have the base file, like a lot of times with icons or with some of the older like meshes and stuff, because Moz would like, or because we like migrated the project, or Moz set up a new project and like migrated everything over. A lot of those things end up getting imported on his end, and so I have the static mesh somewhere, but it's not in the same file location anymore. So I get an error, and then I have to like go find that file again to re-import it with that rotation. So it's just easier to use pivot tool. Anyway, ad break. Sorry. I guess most of you guys have subs now, thanks to Ryu and Kittlex, so who cares about the ad breaks? They didn't push the source files. Yeah, which is fine. I wouldn't want the source files pushed anyway, usually, but oh, I should have left that up so I knew when the ad was over. That was dumb. I closed it. Anyway, oh, so yeah, so quest idea. Do you guys ever played Guild Wars 2? There was a really interesting a thing they did with quests in Guild Wars 2. Looking back, I'm not sure if I like loved it for an MMO. Like I wish they kind of just had like WoW quests. That would have been more fun. But they streamlined questing. So instead of like walking up to an NPC and being like, yes, I accept this quest and I will go do this thing and I'll come back to you. Instead, they have like a quest zone in like a new area. Every time you got to like a new area, there'd be like a quest zone. You walk into it and it pops up in the top corner and it's like, here's a quest in this zone. And it's like, mine 50 ore, or like fight 10 of these bugs, or water these plants, or whatever. It could be any number of things that you do, and it's always like stupid tasks like that. But the point is, like, you can do it, and then all their like you have a certain amount of things you can do, and there's also global quests that where like players can do them together, which is really cool. And those are like random, they like pop up sometimes. Ew, Link, sorry. That shows import rotation. What? Why do I not have access to that? Under import settings. Here's my import settings. Asset import data. File path, interchange. That's all I have for import settings. And then it goes into ray tracing. Why do I not have access to all these options? I'm not searching anything. Am I missing something? Oh, I did not mean to click that. See, there's that issue. Area Quest, the first Warhammer Online MMO, did that. Oh my god, I loved Warhammer Online. I was obsessed with that game. I played that for like several months straight. I loved that game so much. and then they shut it down. You can still go back and play it though. It's actually online right now. You can play it. I played it a couple of years ago, I think now, to try it again. But yeah, I absolutely love that game. I have like very vivid memories of like how like that game and like had so much fun playing it. But when I went back and played it again, totally different experience, and it kind of ruined my memory of it. But like now I'm just like kind of like forgotten what it was like now because I haven't played it in a while. So now like the memories are like there again. So I refuse to play it again. But yeah, it was really good. Anyway, yeah, it's weird that I don't have that. Look for a transform. You're in 5-4, right? Why do I not have that option? I don't have transform at all. It shows all the import settings. 542, yeah, so same. I don't know why it wouldn't be showing. I definitely don't have it. Right? I'm not crazy, right? Import, or no, my bad. No, not import settings. Where am I going? Import settings, I have nothing here. Maybe it's maybe you have I done something weird with like the way I imported the mesh? Oh, you know what? I might have migrated this from Swords and Magic. So if it was migrated, it wouldn't have import settings. And that is probably why I don't have any. That's interesting. That would explain why when I hit re-import base mesh, it popped up with a menu too, because I shouldn't, like, why would it not just automatically import? Because I would have just imported it, but I migrated it. Okay, so that's my bad then. Yep, that makes more sense. Interesting. Okay, well, the upgrade menu is working. Only took us 3 hours. Oh no, those are not updating. They're not updating. We did plug this in, right? Yeah. Now that we're clearing the right children. It is a tool slot. We're getting the upgrade data. Maybe I have just set them up to have the same. Oh, you know what? That's exactly what happened. I gave them all the exact same upgrade requirements for the same level. So the next step would be to actually get the thing working, which means I need a timeline. I guess. Yeah. I'm just going to do the upgrade entirely locally. I don't think there's any reason to replicate it because I'll replicate the actual like upgrade that happens, but I don't think I'm going to worry about replicating like the timeline and everything to make it like I'm just going to lock players into the upgrade so they can't leave while it's upgrading, I guess. Or I guess even if they did leave, it didn't matter. Like the next player would just then do it locally and upgrade their own. It wouldn't matter. I'll just do that. Or I can just remove the close buttons. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay. What do I want to do though? I want to go look at the tool levels and see what resource. Copper and oak. Why is it? Wait, hold on. Why are we seeing so many of them? It's only 2 resource requirements. Am I getting? Oh, I'm getting the wrong levels. That's why. This needs to be equal to the current level. +1. I hate that they switched the... Coming from UE4, they switched the plus node to be +0 instead of +1 by default, which is dumb to me because I can't see anyone ever wanting to add 0, but I can see a million cases where you'd want to add 1. And that just seems silly. This is ugly. It's fine. There we go. And then those all show the same thing. It's wiggling the things around, which is fine. And then we don't have enough resources to upgrade, obviously. Oh, but it doesn't care about that, so we need to build that next. Actually, it's 5 o'clock. It's 4th of July, and I have dinner to go make, and corn to husk. Shuck, not husk, right? What do you call it? How do I can't remember what it's called now? Shucking. Removing the husk. Got it. I know what I'm doing. And cornbread to make. So I think we're gonna peace out instead. You have to export it to import it. Yeah. I mean, I could just re-import it and find my actual file for that mesh, but since I migrated a bunch of the stuff over from Swords of Magic, because I had both projects open because I was like stealing code from my Anim Blueprint and among other places, and some like material stuff, so I was just migrating things so it's easier than trying to like rebuild it. So I probably just migrated a bunch of assets and that's what happened. But that's okay, no big deal. It's good to know we learned something. We're snacking down here. Don't snack down there. All right, I'm gonna go do dinner. You guys are awesome. Thanks for hanging out today. Crazy amount of donations and gifted subs. That's the word I'm looking for. You guys are awesome. Thank you for doing that. Too kind. I don't know when I'm streaming again because Monday I start at Girls Make Games and I will be busy 12 hours a day for 5 days a week then. So you guys might not see me on stream until August. And so we'll see. Maybe I'll try to sneak in a stream on a weekend on like a Saturday or something. To like work on this for a little bit if I'm feeling up to it, but I'm probably going to be like, I don't know, we'll see what happens. But thanks for watching. Appreciate ya. Bye guys.